I just wanted to contact you to say thank you so much for coming to meet us yesterday. I am Harry's mother. I asked him for your contact information so I could talk to you. I'm sorry for sending you a message just out of the blue like this.
Oh, no, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to meet and talk with me. So, Harry had given you my information, right? I understand. Not a problem. Just to make this formal, I am Leanne. I look forward to talking with you more in the future.
Oh, no need to be so stiff. Don't worry so much about such formalities. Anyway, this might be a bit sudden, but there's something I felt that I needed to let you know. Or, to be more to the point, I wanted to tell you what the final decision was after meeting you yesterday.
I'm sorry? What do you mean by the final decision? Decision on what?
I am referring to the impartial judgment I have come to regarding you after thoroughly interviewing you the other day. After my thorough investigation, I have decided that I will not be permitting you to marry my son, and will be henceforth canceling your engagement. Harry should also be contacting you shortly regarding this decision as well. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Wait, what? This isn't just something you drop on someone out of the blue. What are you talking about? You'll be canceling the engagement. What do you mean?
Oh my. Could it be that perhaps someone like you doesn't know what it means to cancel an engagement? I thought young people like you looked all sorts of things up on the internet, no? If you don't understand something like this, why not just look it up like you young folk do with everything else? Unless my preconception was mistaken.
What sort of idiot do you take me for? Of course I know what canceling an engagement means. What I'm asking is why on earth you are trying to cancel it. I'd say that's more mistaken here than your preconceptions. And that's not even getting into why you think you have the authority to make such a decision, like some supervisor at a job interview. Are you not aware that this is something that should be decided by the two people involved, rather than by a third party?
Oh, I see where the confusion has come up. I believe you might not be thoroughly aware of the situation. It sounds like you think I silenced Harry's objections and am trying to cancel the engagement because I disapprove of you, correct? I'm afraid that is not the case. Not that I blame you. People like you often tend to think only in regards to what's most beneficial for you instead of everyone. The truth is, I have discussed this at length with Harry as well, and he is well aware that we are having this discussion.
What? Putting aside your aspersions on my character, you're saying he also feels the same way? He hasn't spoken a word with me about anything regarding breaking it off.
You certainly don't seem to be very adept at understanding things now, do you? Did you not understand me when I said that this was my judgment after having spoken with you only yesterday? Of course, Harry said that he felt he should tell you himself, but for news like this, I thought that it would be better to let you know as soon as possible. Don't you think? That's why I decided to give you the courtesy of contacting you directly instead. Although I think a message should arrive for you at some point today from him as well. Of course, it would only come once he is finished with work for the day. He is a hard-working man after all.
What on earth is going on here? I can't believe something like this could be happening. I need to confirm this with Harry right away.
Oh, what is this now? Are you saying you're going to bother him while he is in the middle of work? You truly do not have the slightest hint of common sense, do you?
How can you say such things? Do you have no compassion for other people?
Tusk. Calm down. You're going to make me laugh with all this rash behavior. It really is unbecoming of a woman to act in such a way, you know? I imagine you don't have any idea why you're deserving of this treatment. For you to be in such a tizzy over just this one thing, I wonder if you have perhaps realized the reason why it has come to this. Well, having seen how much of a fool you can be for myself, perhaps it's more reasonable to assume that you have not. It does seem like more of a case of the latter, I suppose. Not that that comes as much of a surprise.
What makes you feel like it's appropriate to talk to someone like that? What are you? Some sort of high society person that judges everyone else? Brazenly insulting me like this is going way too far. I don't know what part of you thinks this is acceptable.
Oh my. Such uncultured girls can be quite scary sometimes. All I have been doing is stating facts, yet to react with such harsh accusations. It really does show how poorly you were raised, doesn't it? I can't think of any other reason. Well, I suppose this is exactly the result you would come to expect from a single-parent household, isn't it?
Hold on a moment. The idea seems so ridiculous that I hesitate to bring it up, but... Are you saying that the reason you're deciding to cancel our engagement is because I grew up in a single-parent household? You're not actually saying you decided to make such a big decision just because I only had my father to raise me, are you?
Why, yes. Yes, I am. What is so ridiculous about that? It seems like a perfectly logical reason to me.
Are you truly serious?
But of course! I was completely shocked when I first heard. To think that Harry would find someone with such a troubling upbringing acceptable. That's why immediately after you went home, I told him, a woman raised in a motherless household isn't fit to be a wife. After all, if he were to marry someone, that woman would become one of our relatives, no? What a ludicrous notion for someone like that to be allowed to marry into our family.
Are you saying that Harry was in total agreement with what you said?
Yes, he was. I wouldn't be contacting you like this if he wasn't. I would never go behind my dear son's back for something like this. Anyway, you should just give up already. There's nothing more to be said.
That's insane.
You really are quite persistent, aren't you? It's so pitiful to see someone who just can't accept the truth. Well then, if you have such a hard time believing me, why not try confirming with the man himself? Anyway, I do not have any further business with you, so I will now excuse myself. Well then, goodbye.
You're on your lunch break now, right? Please get back to me as soon as you can.
What is it? I can't call you right now. Is there something urgent that you need to talk to me about?
Don't you at least have an idea about what it is I want to talk about? Just a little while ago, I was contacted by your mother. She was saying all sorts of things about how she was going to break up our engagement.
Oh, I see. So she was talking to you about that, huh? Can we talk about that this evening? I would really prefer to not waste my lunch break if I can avoid it.
What are you talking about? Waste it. Since when was talking to me such a waste of time? Haven't you always taken the time to talk to me before?
Well, the situation is different than before now, right? I thought it would be clear. The engagement has already been broken off, so it's not like we have any obligation to each other, after all. We're just two unrelated people now.
Oh no, not you too. Are you telling me that you actually agreed to breaking everything off?
Huh? Well, yeah. Mother told me it wouldn't amount to anything good, so...
What are you talking about? You're saying that if your mother tells you something is bad, then you just follow her word? No questions asked? Aren't you old enough to think for yourself and not rely on her word for everything?
No. You've got it all wrong. It's not like that. All it is that after I heard what Mother had to say, I thought that she might have a point. That's all. So, after thinking about it for a little while, I thought, yeah, that sounds about right. Nothing more than that. Though, to be honest, even if I was opposed to the whole breaking off the engagement thing, I can't say I feel like things would have ended up going very well anyway, yeah? I mean, Mother was opposed to the whole idea from the start, so... I guess I just felt like there wasn't much of a choice other than to break it off. Do you see what I mean?
No, I don't see what you mean at all. What are you saying? If that's how easily you can change your mind about something like this, you shouldn't have proposed to me in the first place.
Come on. I can't really help it now, can I? Mother is, well, pretty darn stubborn. She isn't exactly the type that's willing to bend her thinking for anyone, so what can you do? I feel like it'd be better for you if you just stay quiet and give up on the whole idea, okay?
Are you really fine with just leaving it at that? Don't you have your own opinion about this too?
Well, when I said I felt like there wasn't much of a choice, I meant that that was a choice I could live with. So, yeah. I am a realist. And to be honest, it's not like I was hugely interested when I was with you anyway, so…
How could you say such a thing?
Well, anyway, I'll make sure to call you this evening. Considering I'm the one who proposed to you, I do feel like I have caused you a bit of trouble with all this after all. I will pay you for all of the trouble I've caused you, so let's talk in more detail about that tonight. Anyway, I'm busy right now, so I need to go. Good evening, Leanne. Well, I apologize for contacting you at this late hour, but there just happens to be something I would like to confirm with you, if you don't mind.
Oh, good evening. So, what is this thing you so desperately needed to confirm with me about?
Well, I heard a number of things from my son, and… Well, I actually wanted to ask you about your father. He is my son's employer. Is that correct? If I'm understanding things correctly, he is one of the main people involved with commercial affairs on the board of directors. Yes?
Well, yeah, you're right. What about it?
No. Well, I'm so sorry. I'd like to apologize. I mean, I was thinking, why didn't Harry mention something so important beforehand? I truly am ashamed of my conduct.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, I hadn't thought to ask a thing about your lineage. And yet, despite all that, I went and started saying way too much, going far beyond what one could call respectable behavior. I am so sorry about everything. With one of the directors of Harry's company being involved, to say the situation changes dramatically is quite the understatement. I really have treated you quite terribly, and I apologize.
Oh, is that so?
I completely understand how angry you are with me. Really, I do. You see, this is just a problem I have run into as I have aged. I think I must have just lost my head for a while. Do you think we could perhaps forget about that trifling matter of breaking off the engagement and try again with a fresh, clean slate?
Well, there's something I'd like to ask you then. Does Harry have any idea that you're contacting me like this?
Of course he does. Why, as soon as he came home last night, he just happened to mention that little tidbit about who your father is. He said something like, "Well, we're at the same company, but there's not going to be any trouble, is there?" or something of the sort. He just mentioned it with this absent-minded look on his face, and… Well, my husband and I just got so flustered at such a revelation. I couldn't believe he was hiding such an important piece of information. My little Harry really does have those little moments, doesn't he? He just goes off into his own little world sometimes. I've always said he tends to be a little lacking when it comes to consideration for others. On top of that, he would always just not think about anything that didn't hold his interest and just leave it all for others to take care of. Yes, it's like studying is the only thing he's ever been good at.
Yes, I see. Yes, I think I would also be pretty quick to apologize if I had such a poor eye for people. I guess it must just come naturally by now, doesn't it?
I don't think you need to go that far. Well, anyway, how about it, Leanne? Don't you think you could take back the cancellation of the engagement? Of course, if you would like a formal apology, I would be more than happy to oblige. Could it be that I am, perhaps, not coming across as very sincere?
Well, let me think about that for a moment. Well, to be honest, I think your intentions have come across quite clearly.
Is that so? Oh, I am so happy to hear it. Thank goodness.
So you're fully on board with your son getting a demotion, right? Rest assured, it has already been discussed between the parties involved. but I will make sure they promptly follow through as planned.
What? Demotion? Just wait, hold on a moment. What? What do you mean when you say demotion? What do you mean by follow through as planned?
Oh, could it be that you can't comprehend what I'm saying? I mean exactly what I said. Demotion. I mean, your son has quite considerably slighted both me and my father, after all. And on top of that, there's the whole issue with the marriage and its cancellation. My father has already spoken to a number of the other directors about the subject. So, they are all quite well aware of the situation. Of course, the news of our engagement being broken off has already become common knowledge among both the directors and company employees. Thanks to that, things are currently in quite a precarious situation.
Are you telling me that there isn't anything you could do to stop this?
Oh? Whatever could you mean? Are you saying you want to cast shame upon my father a second time?
No, of course not.
I'm afraid that this has already turned into a situation that simply cannot be rectified by an apology. I am working at one of the company's subsidiaries, so I'm afraid I don't exactly know what is going on at headquarters, but from what I've heard from some of my other colleagues, there have been all sorts of worried messages and reports flying around. For someone to insult a director's own family structure and use it as a basis for breaking off an engagement, people feel that the man who would do such a thing is not only horribly prejudiced, but also shows a complete lack of understanding of society at large. There seem to be all sorts of rumors spreading around the company at the moment. I suppose Harry probably doesn't exactly understand how things came to this, does he? Well, I suppose he is quite a spineless person after all, isn't he?
Wait, what? Please, hold on a second. Isn't there anything that can be done about this situation?
No, I'm afraid there is not. This is all unrelated to me, after all. And I can't say I particularly care about what happens to Harry at this point anyway.
Wait, please don't say things like that. Please, you have to help us. I'm begging you. Isn't there any way you can take it all back?
No, I will not. Well, anyway, if you will excuse me.
No, wait. Please, just hold on. I'm pleading with you. Please, can't you just think over marrying Harry one more time? Could you please rethink your position on it?
You know what? Okay, sure. I'll think about it one more time. And having thought over it again, I've come to my decision. No. Anyway, I really must be going now.
No, wait. Please wait. Don't go. Leanne, what have you done? Things are completely out of control over here. For the fallout of something like breaking off an engagement to have escalated to this extent, I have never seen my reputation at this company plummet so much.
Oh, is someone finally starting to realize that he shouldn't have just blindly followed Mommy's orders? Well, no matter what you say, it's far too late, you know. I will not accept any sort of reinstatement of our engagement. I will not let you take back what you've broken.
Wait, that? I'm not really concerned about that. What I don't understand is why I'm being told that I'm going to be demoted.
Oh, what? Are you saying you're not pleased to hear that? And if you just suddenly went home early, people will start gossiping about what's going on, you know? Who knows what they'll think?
Wait, you already know that much? Anyway, I'm telling you that you need to do something about this. This is something you started, remember?
Me? Oh, no. You're the one who started this whole mess. This is a problem that all started with you. Don't forget that this whole incident with breaking off our engagement, that alone was at a level that required compensation in the first place, no? This is not just a situation that you can just describe with something like, as if it was just some trifling matter. Do you not understand that?
Well, that is,
At this point, telling me that you don't want to be demoted is just you acting out of desperation, isn't it? Are you really that much of a workaholic? I guess instead of marrying me, you prefer to marry your job, huh? Oh, wait, I see now. You're really afraid of being seen as worthless in the eyes of the higher-ups, aren't you? Up until now, you've had a pretty good reputation with them after all. If your primary goal was to protect your position at the company, then you really shouldn't have broken off the engagement in the first place now, should you? Well, whatever. It's far too late to be thinking about that now.
You don't understand. What I'm trying to say is, there's no way I should be getting treated this poorly just over something like breaking off an engagement with someone.
Wow. Even after I called it out directly, you're still saying it? Do you just not pay attention to anything I say? Given how clueless you've been acting, I wouldn't be surprised if you're not aware of this, but do you realize that breaking off an engagement with someone is by no means a simple, carefree matter? The two of us were engaged to be married. Regardless of what reason there might be, deciding to break off something like that, that's something that both parties involved would need to meet and thoroughly discuss before deciding on, isn't it? Considering how much of a role your mother played in everything, to not even think of talking to my father about it as well. Don't you think you might have been overstepping your bounds a little?
What? That's just an exaggeration. Nothing more.
We told both of our families about our engagement, remember? We made formal announcements to everyone. Marriage has an impact on more than just the two of us. It affects our families as well. That's how important it is. You're already 30. You should fully understand this by now.
Huh. I guess that would be what someone the likes of you values most. What are you talking about? We have to meet and discuss things first. That's not the day and age we live in anymore now, is it? To me, something like that isn't such a big deal.
Wow. This is utterly astounding. I am not even sure how to respond. I suppose the best thing to say would be that you just shouldn't have proposed in the first place then.
What are you talking about? This and that are two completely different things. That's just how things go in that sort of situation.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, you were talking about how we had been going out for 2 years, you know?
Yeah? And? I fail to see how a statement like that somehow gets interpreted as, please propose to me. I didn't say anything close to that. I wasn't expecting a thing when I said what I did. I was just commenting on how it had been 2 years. I just find that sort of thing to be important to me. Nothing more.
Then why can't you just think of breaking off an engagement with that sort of nothing special attitude?
I'm sorry? Excuse me? What could you mean by that?
Well, I mean, look at it the same way that you had just casually talked about the 2 years we spent together, right?
Yep. I figured that's what you'd say. That's why I've been trying to tell you that breaking off an engagement is not such a thing you just casually do. Furthermore, our society sees such a thing as quite a cruel thing to do. You know that?
Why, I ask you? If you just think about it from my perspective…
You really have been saying a lot to me with such a rude tone. Do you realize how seriously you've insulted us? I'm telling you that that's why you ended up being demoted. There were already all sorts of rumors circulating about how the daughter of one of the directors was going to be marrying one of the company's employees. For such an engagement to be broken off by said employee, let alone for the reasoning involved, there's no way he would get away without some kind of penalty.
I mean, sure, I get that, so… Isn't there something you can do? As the former fiancé, isn't there something you can do about this?
What on earth makes you think I have to do anything about it? What you have to do is properly accept the consequences of your actions. By the way, have you spoken with your mother at all about this? I can guarantee that she will just try to tell you to reconcile with me. All she cares about is trying to get me to marry you. Meanwhile, you, being the thoughtless person that you are, would just try to beg her to find some way to fix your mangled reputation in the company. The both of you only think about what would be best for yourselves. What the hell is wrong with both of you? You are both completely insufferable. Both of you! Please never contact me ever again.
Wait, that's… I
have no idea what your situation is, nor all of the circumstances surrounding it. Can you just stop trying to wrap me up in your own problems? With all of the trouble you've caused us, rest assured that I will be retaining an attorney and doing my best to get compensation for your horribly prejudicial actions. Try to be sincere when responding, okay? At the very least, both my father and I have been considerably disgraced and embarrassed by all of this. And might I remind you, it is entirely your fault.
Please, Leanne, I'm begging you. Can't you possibly reconsider going forward with marrying my son? He has been reflecting on all that he's done over the past few months. So, please, won't you please change your mind? Please, would you think it over again just one more time?
Oh, was it really shocking when you received that mail? I guess it must have been so stressful seeing how everything ended up being exposed, huh?
Excuse me?
I can hardly believe that he was already engaged to some other woman. Ms. Cooper or something, was it? Wow, it looks like the mother and son have completely different opinions about what to do. And they certainly don't match very well. Well, it makes no difference to me. This just means there will be more compensation money coming in. Adding on such a betrayal of trust to what's already happened, I'm quite thankful to receive that extra bit of income.
No, wait. Please don't say things like that. I'm telling you, I was against the entire idea from the start. I don't know if it was some childhood friend of his or something, but to just marry someone from such an unremarkable family. I mean, there's not a single merit in a decision like that, right? You, with your much finer upbringing, are just a much more spectacular woman than she is. I even asked him, which person does he think he should hold dearest to him? As if it shouldn't already be obvious.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about? If I remember correctly, am I not the one who initially failed to meet the clearly exacting standards of your thorough interview? You had told me that you had made your final decision about my value and upbringing to begin with. And yet now I hear you trying to convince me that you felt like this all along? Do you really think that I would so easily go along with such a brazen attempt at buttering me up after how you've treated me?
But, that's why I was telling you that I had no idea. If I had known the whole situation with just how important a figure your father was, I would have never contacted you the way I did in the first place.
Oh, is that right? So, essentially, what you're telling me is that all you care about is my family's money?
Well, no. I'm not saying that's what's most important or anything.
Well, in any case, you seem to have gotten quite flustered now, haven't you? Considering how your son has ended up breaking off both of his engagements.
Ah, I see now. So you were the one pulling the strings the entire time, then.
You and your son's opinions seem to be so at odds with each other that I couldn't help but find it particularly strange. Harry also gave off the impression that he was trying to hide something from me, too. So I did some digging into the whole situation, and it turns out the whole situation was even more screwed up than I could have imagined. When I met up with the other woman he was engaged to and told her all about what was going on, she was unbelievably shocked. Appalled, even. I can't believe this. There is no way I am going to marry such a horrible, conniving man, were her words, if I remember correctly.
Ugh, that impudent woman. She thinks that someone with such a worthless lineage like hers can say such things. Of course I wouldn't let things continue with her.
Huh? But you also knew about everything that was going on, didn't you?
Huh?
That's why I said I couldn't believe how you were trying to convince me of the exact opposite of your initial opinion. The only way you would try to start singing my praises so readily is if you had known about both engagements to begin with and need to make one stick.
No. That's not how it is. I was just trying to tell him to make sure he chose the correct person. That's all.
Or, to put it bluntly, you were trying to get him to keep me around, right? I cannot believe you. Well, whatever you try to make him do, it makes no difference to me anyway.
Wait, please wait. Don't you realize I'm giving my permission? I'm giving you permission to marry my son. This sort of chance doesn't just come along every day, you know.
Yes? And?
If you were to marry him, there would be all sorts of advantages for the both of you, don't you see? Harry would be able to get back his reputation at work, and you would get to have one of the best husbands a woman could ask for. One of the best husbands a woman could ask for? What part of him gets anywhere close to fitting that description? A two-timing man like him can't even get by with being called a terrible husband. He would be one of the worst husbands imaginable. To put it bluntly, to me, there isn't a single shred of good that can come from marrying someone like him. It sounds to me like you're just speaking total nonsense. If you want someone who will believe that garbage, try looking in a mirror. What did you say? You really are desperate, aren't you? To start off with such a haughty attitude, insulting me and my family straight to my face, then to do a complete 180 and start trying to treat me like royalty or something? I can't help but laugh at how ridiculous this all is. No. That's not what's going on. Do you finally get it now? I'm not exactly free right now, so I simply must be going. Don't forget to pay the compensation you owe us. If you don't, I'm afraid my father and I will have no choice but to go to trial. Go to trial? Oh, would you prefer it if we did that? No, just wait a moment. What I'm trying to say is that trying to meet those demands will ruin me. If only Harry had actually told me about your father beforehand. None of these horrible things would have had to happen to me if he had just spoken up. Well, personally, I am happy the engagement got broken off myself. After all, I can feel much more at ease that I didn't end up becoming related to such a terrible man and his mother. Harry contacted me one last time, begging me to get back together with him and go forward with the marriage. Given that he's a pathetic, spineless man who just follows everything his mother tells him to do, I obviously refused to reconsider. After I flatly refused his desperate request, I got $20,000 in compensation for all the trouble his family caused my father and me. As for Harry, the rumors of his infidelity spread through the company like wildfire. I heard that things at work got so painful for him that he started just not coming in at all, and he was eventually fired. With such a blotch on his career, I can imagine it will be particularly difficult for him to find a new job now. Well, since he has his precious mommy dearest by his side, perhaps he can still manage to live out a happy life after all. Although, from what I hear, he seems to have turned his back on his father throughout all of this. He's certainly not happy, and I heard that if Harry doesn't find a new job soon, he might get driven out of his house entirely, mother in tow. When I shared this info with Miss Cooper, she and I just laughed together for a long, long time. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you felt great after hearing the story, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. Please look forward to the next video.
you doing? I mean, I guess that's not the question to ask. Considering you got divorced and all. My bad.
I forgot to block your number. You have some nerve contacting me after stealing my husband, Lisa.
Yeah, I can't deny that. I did hit you pretty bad with that one. It's been half a year now, right?
After getting married to Sean, I know I didn't really stay in touch.
But something came up that I need to talk to you about. So, here I am.
I don't have anything to talk to you about. Don't expect me to listen.
Just hold on now. Don't you want to know how your sister and your ex-husband are doing now? Not even slightly curious?
You really think I'd be curious about a sister who thought it was okay to just take my husband away from me? Not to mention the good-for-nothing jerk who had the audacity to cheat on me with my own sister. No thanks. I'd rather not hear what you have to say. Seriously. Like, you must be beyond messed up to want to get together with your wife's twin sister who literally has the same face. It's so ridiculous, I can only laugh thinking about it now.
You do know that it was your fault that you got cheated on, right? Don't think you're just a victim here.
Would you care to explain why you think it was my fault? Because I'm actually curious. How could someone say something so illogical?
Look, sis, we are identical twins for crying out loud. Our face, our body type, everything is practically the same. But Sean chose me over you. That can only mean one thing. Sean was completely turned off by your personality. Sure, we're probably both attractive on the outside, but I guess you need to work on your inner beauty, huh?
We do have a completely different sense of style, and I don't think our vibe is the same either. But other than that, there isn't that much to differentiate us, and yet Sean chose you as the girl to cheat on me with. Seriously, what is wrong with that guy? I must have some terrible taste in men to have married some wacko twisted enough to do that. Well, I know the reason why he ran away, though. You're the easier one.
The easier one? What's that supposed to mean?
We both decided that we would each be working and doing our fair share of household chores. He ended up not doing his part after a while. I tried to talk to him about it and make sure we were making things fair for the both of us. I guess he didn't like that, and ran away to you. You wouldn't really call him out on things like that. He's just some man baby who wants to be taken care of. Well, hope he's happy now, because I'm sure that's what he's getting.
It doesn't matter what you say, because it all sounds like you are just trying to get back at me for winning him over. What a sore loser, sis. Just get over it already.
Sis? I feel sick every time you call me that. You completely betrayed my trust. So I'd appreciate it if you just stopped acting like we were still close.
You really don't like the fact that you got your husband stolen by your sister, huh? I feel for you, sis. I really do. But you can't really help the fact that Sean loves me more than he loved you.
I am starting to think that you contacted me just to torment me.
It's just so hard to win with you. You're so cold-hearted, you know. You could try being a bit more endearing. At least, that's what Sean was saying. He said it was easy to be with me because I'm so lovable and charming. That it would be such a pleasure to live together with me. He said he felt like he could barely breathe with you. Jesus, why couldn't you just give the guy a break?
Well, honestly, if that was the case, I would have understood if he just asked for a divorce first. He could have chosen to date you after getting divorced and then married you. That was definitely an option for him. I don't understand why he would be stupid enough to get the order all wrong. It would have been much simpler if he had just told me the truth from the beginning and we separated.
Why so serious all the time, sis? Loosen up a little. You look like me, so you're actually quite pretty. What a waste. I'm sure it wouldn't be so hard to get a guy to notice you, but guys don't really like serious girls like you. You know, the ones who are always on their case and all. They end up choosing girls like me who are fun and carefree. It's attractive for us girls to be that way. That's just how it is. You should brush up a bit before you start looking for a new guy.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not wrong. I mean, I've learned that painful lesson over and over again. Every single time you stole my boyfriend away. Ever since high school.
You gotta admit, the guys that you date are a little… How should I say this? You know, they only see a pretty face and get all excited. In other words, they're easy. It's a piece of cake stealing them away. They just can't resist the temptation. So practically, it's kind of your fault you end up getting cheated on every time. You're the one who chooses those kinds of guys, right?
It doesn't matter what I did. Cheating on someone while married is always the fault of the person who cheated. There's no excuse for such behavior, period. Even in court, the verdict was that you both were held responsible for the divorce. That's why you're still both paying me compensation money, right?
Do you know how annoying it is that we have to keep paying you that money?
Do you know how annoying it is that I have to deal with the fact that you guys were cheating on me? And that I still have to talk to you like this?
Because of the payments we are making to you, we barely have enough to get by. I hate having to sacrifice the little luxuries just because you can't get over the fact that me and Sean are together.
It's all on you. Everything. You pay the price for your own stupidity. Well then, I'm wasting my time here. I'm just gonna block you now, okay?
Okay. Can you just let me say what I needed to say? Someone's a little impatient.
Just hurry up and say it then. Even though it's been half a year already, I still have a lot of feelings about what happened. Talking to you is just bringing all of it up to the surface, so I'd really like you to get to your point so we can end this conversation.
I'm pregnant!
Okay, pregnant? What? You're telling me you're gonna become a mom. With Sean, I'm guessing?
Well, duh. Who else? Are you trying to imply I'd get pregnant with someone else or something?
I only asked because he was always telling me how much he didn't like kids.
There's a reason he said that to you, you know. He didn't like the idea of both of you working and having to split the responsibility of child-rearing. Unlike you, I wanted to become a housewife. You know, being in charge of all the house chores and taking care of the baby. That's why Sean said he wanted to have a baby.
You really think that it'll work that way? You are aware that he doesn't make enough to support a whole entire family, right? How are you gonna survive off of one paycheck every month?
I guess you understand the gist of the matter then. That's why I decided that since I'm pregnant, I should go home.
Go home?
Well, you know, Mom and Dad's. I heard you had to move back in with them after everything went down. I know it might be awkward for you to have to see me and Sean from now on, but you'll get used to it.
Sure, I don't really want to see any of your faces. Ever, actually. But that's besides the point. There isn't a place for you to stay. It wouldn't work out.
No matter what happens, Mom and Dad will always take care of me as their daughter. And you're my sister, after all. Family will always be family. That house isn't just for you to stay in either. I can come back anytime I like. There's no doubt that Mom and Dad want to see their first grandchild anyways. If you would just grow up a little, things would work out smoothly. Just act like an adult and welcome us peacefully, all right? Don't go causing trouble for the rest of the family. That's that. I'll be seeing you early next month. I'm looking forward to living with you.
Hold your horses now. Lisa, just calm down for a second and listen to what I have to say. I'm being serious. There really isn't any place for you to return to. Sophie, how have you been? We haven't talked for a while. I just wanted to ask you if your family had a car. You know, Lisa is pregnant, so we need you guys to pick us up when we move. Well, if it isn't Sean. Won't bother asking you how you've been. Are you seriously considering moving into my parents' house with Lisa? What other option do we have? Lisa has been struggling a lot with morning sickness. If you and your mom are with her, I'm sure it'll be a lot easier for us. We need your help right now. We haven't really said you could move here. I can't believe you just made a decision without asking first. Lisa's your sister. How could you be upset in this situation? This is exactly what I meant by you being cold-hearted. I really did the right thing by divorcing you. What a coincidence! Was just thinking the same exact thing. Anyways, about the day of the move. You're gonna come and pick up Lisa, right? I'll just go later with all the stuff. Don't you think making Lisa come with me in the pickup truck is too much? That'll be hard on her. I do recall giving you our car as part of the divorce settlement. You didn't sell it or anything, I assume. Okay, who was the one that bought that car with her own freaking money? Oh yeah, me! And way before I met you. It wasn't even part of the darn divorce settlement. Who cares about the little details? What a pain. This is what I'm talking about. Being with you was always such a drag. We were supposed to be in love, feeling butterflies, you know? It's unbelievable the way you made being in a relationship feel like hell every day. If you want to think more positively about things, I guess you can say that uptight personality of yours might come in handy once we move into your parents' house. You have quite the steady income as well. Are you seriously suggesting that I give you some allowance to cover what your paycheck can't? Come on. Your sister is pregnant. Don't be so cruel. Don't tell me you have no intention of helping us out here. Ding ding! You are correct. You guys can just figure everything out by yourselves. And my precious car won't be letting any of you get even near it. Lisa will live. Why are you guys even asking me in the first place? Do you know how messed up that is? I keep telling Lisa that there's no place for you guys to live. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Oh, just stop it already. I know it hasn't been too long since our divorce, but it'll be fine. Look, I'm saying this for your sake, but you better not try to come over with your stuff. No one will welcome you. I promise you. My parents are not excited about the new grandchild either. Just be grateful that I warned you, okay? What's that supposed to mean? Who wouldn't be happy about getting grandchildren? That doesn't make any sense. My sister doesn't have a place to call home anymore. Don't you think that after stealing her only sister's husband, that would be the case? Let's just let the past go, huh? We all make mistakes. Forgive and forget. Let's live together. It'll be great. We'll be a family again. Although not like before, if you know what I mean. You have your own family to rely on. Can't you just ask your parents to help out? I'm sure you can still rely on them. You should know how it is with my parents by now. There's not a moment that goes by without one of us picking a fight. It's not a good idea to ask them for help. And I don't want to go back to the countryside. There is literally nothing there. Okay then, I'll text you again when the date and time of the move has been decided. Don't just settle things on your own now. I don't know how many times I have to warn you. You guys really won't be able to move in here. There's no use in bringing your stuff. You can try if you want.
You're coming to pick me up, right, sis? Why are you taking so long? Are you still upset or something?
I've told you over and over. You won't be able to move in. And I won't be picking you up. I never said I would. And most importantly, I don't want you two to be a part of my life. Ever. Not happening.
We don't have any money. You know that, right? Sean didn't get a raise, so he's making the same old amount. And it's not like I have a job either. Now is the time for you all to help us out financially.
It doesn't have to be me, Mom, or Dad. You could ask anyone else for help. In fact, just ask Sean's parents. They have a lot of land and property. I'm sure they'll provide something for you two. Who knows? Maybe they'll let you live on a farm or something.
No way! I'll never live outside the city. Ew. They don't even have Wi-Fi from what I've heard. How am I supposed to have a life over there? Don't you remember that the reason why Sean moved over here is because he hated living there so much?
I really liked Sean's mom and dad, though. They were really nice. Their house was surrounded by a lot of nature, and it was quite the tranquil experience staying there. Either way, we have no intention of accepting you two into the house. Don't think you can just barge in whenever you want and take advantage of us.
When are you going to get over yourself? You don't have to get all emotional about everything. Didn't Sean tell you to forget about the past? Let's just start anew. It'll be fun living together. The more the merrier, right? It'll be one big happy family. We're going to be living together, so let's make peace. I don't want to have to move in when we're on bad terms. Let's make up. Please?
They demolished the house already. It's gone.
It's gone? How come I didn't know about this? What happened?
Like I said, they tore down the house. That's what I meant by you don't have a place to return to.
I can't believe you guys didn't tell me about this.
I kept telling you that there's no place for you guys to live.
Why in the world would Mom and Dad decide to get rid of the house? What were they thinking? I don't understand what is going on.
Dad gave me the house as an early inheritance gift. I decided to get rid of the house and turn the land into a vacant lot. Eventually, it'll be a parking lot.
What the heck? A parking lot?
And the three of us moved to another house.
What are we supposed to do then? There's no place for us to move to? And why the heck are you the only one getting land and the house and everything? That's not fair at all. How about me? Don't I get anything?
It wasn't my decision. Ask Dad. I don't know anything.
Whatever. Just share the new address with me. That's all I need from you.
No. And I'm sure you're already aware of it, but you haven't been depositing the monthly compensation fee into my account since last month. Don't keep me waiting too long. Hurry up and send the money over.
You should know that we don't have the money to send you right now. You're totally the worst. How can you think only of money right now? Just forget it. I don't need you to tell me because I'll find out on my own. I swear.
Oh, sis. I told you I would find the new address. Easy peasy. Though I did have quite the tough week, thanks to you. No home, no money. Finding your address was like seriously mission impossible. I went all around town, asking everyone I knew. I even went to City Hall to see if I could get my hands on some records. Heck, I tried to find Dad at his workplace so I could follow him home. You really did all of that? Just to find our address? You are really something. I must commend your efforts. You could really make use of that resilience for something good. Why would you go around wasting your energy doing something so ridiculous?
You guys are living in a really nice, fancy high-rise apartment now, huh? How new is the building? 'Cause it looks impeccable. Me and Sean were getting all excited talking about living there with you guys. I can't wait to move in.
The building was built with a top-notch security system. You can't even get in the main entrance without a key. No funny business. No matter what you try, you won't be able to get away with it. We won't give you a key either. There's no use in trying to move in.
But you see, we already figured out how to bypass the security system. You know how me and Sean have so much time on our hands right now. We just waited for the mailman and followed him through the main entrance.
If you have that much time to waste, get to work already. You owe me a lot of money. Isn't today a weekday? As in, a work day? Sean should be at work, not trying to trespass on private property.
He told the company he's not feeling well and took sick leave.
No wonder he never gets a promotion or even a raise. How many sick leaves has he taken just in this 1 year? Honestly, none of my business anymore. Back to the point. Even if you succeed in getting through the main entrance, you won't be able to get into the actual apartment. Without a key, there's no hope for you. So just give up and go home. Stop wasting so much time for nothing.
Oh, you didn't know? If it's the key you're worried about, I don't really need one. I'm here with a special someone.
Huh? What special someone? What are you up to this time?
After you guys split up, Sean met this guy at some bar. They ended up becoming friends, but you wouldn't believe how nimble he is with his fingers. He can even pick locks. What a skill. I'm sure he'll have no trouble opening the door.
You know that's a crime, right? You really want to get the police involved?
It's just you, Mom, and Dad living there. Since my parents live there and all, it shouldn't be a crime just to get in. It's practically my home. Who would arrest me just for trying to get into my own home? You can't make the police do anything to me.
Huh. All right then. I guess there's no limit to the amount of trouble you want to cause us. It's not like you guys regret your actions that caused my divorce. You guys probably think you both did nothing wrong.
Why do I have to feel bad for what we did? We did nothing wrong. We were in love. Can you blame us?
I'm really glad I made sure to take preventative measures.
What does that mean? Whatever. Once I get in, I'll be using a room that's to my liking. And I need to thank that special friend for opening the door with some coffee and snacks. Whatever you guys have in the kitchen. Hope you don't mind.
The police will be on their way the moment you try to get in. Just take your time sipping your coffees while you wait for them to arrive.
Why the police? I don't get it. There's no reason for the police to be on their way.
There's no reason. It's called trespassing. With some stranger who's going to be picking the lock open. Commit the crime, do the time. Oh yeah, and if you try to open the door without the key, it'll set the silent emergency alarm off. The security staff will be alerted immediately.
Oh, I had no idea.
Sure, you may be able to get into the building without much trouble. But after that, getting into an actual apartment is practically impossible. I'm sure the police are already on their way after the security staff got the emergency alert. That is, if you already got in. In fact, they might already be in the building.
Wait, what? We're going to get arrested? I just came home, that's all. What's wrong with that?
We didn't welcome you home with open arms. You broke the law by trying to get in without our permission. I told you so many times that we don't want you coming back. That there's no place for you to return home. You're the one who forced your way into our apartment while we were gone. Now you'll pay the consequences. There's nothing you can do about it now.
What about Mom and Dad? Where are they now? They wouldn't be okay with this happening. Their grandchild is going to be born soon. They would be so thrilled to see me come home. They wouldn't mind that I tried to get in.
Mom and Dad don't even consider you as part of the family anymore. I don't know what you were talking about.
No, that can't be true.
It's all because you did whatever you wanted without thinking about the consequences. Dad decided that he didn't want anything to do with you anymore. He thought that what you did was unforgivable. It's not like you have been able to get into contact with Mom and Dad. Why are you being so delusional?
I mean, yeah, they didn't really pick up when I tried to call so many times. I did think it was kind of odd.
Well, of course. Why would they pick up after what you did? You stole my husband and didn't even show any remorse. You think they would just get over it? They've been upset ever since the day they found out. I'm sure with this little incident, it'll be the final blow to them.
So unfair! I can't believe you. Why is it always you getting the good treatment from Mom and Dad? They always spoil you.
It's all on you. Your behavior is just seriously unforgivable.
Where the heck am I supposed to raise my newborn child? I was going to make you and Mom take care of the kid. I can't raise a kid on my own.
You have Sean's parents to help you out. In fact, they're already on their way, all excited to start a new life with you and the baby.
You've got to be kidding me.
Even after my divorce, Sean's dad kept in contact with me. He was so kind, always worried about me. He would check in regularly. That's why when I found out you were pregnant, I told them about it. Apparently, you guys didn't tell them. Why would you keep it a secret?
You really screwed us over. If we get dragged out of the city, it's all your fault.
Ugh. Yeah, blame me all you want. I'm fine with that. I'm more than fine, actually, because I told Sean's dad on purpose, knowing that he would try to bring you guys to the countryside. Thank goodness everything worked out. At least you have a place to sleep now. Shouldn't you be relieved? You'll be staying the night in a jail cell, and then soon after, you'll be going away to live with Sean's parents.
Haven't you heard from Sean about his parents? You don't know how terrible they are? They're too strict with everything.
I've met Sean's dad multiple times. He's a good man. You say he's terrible, but he only speaks of the truth. He's a man of integrity. It's because he can say it like it is without letting you get away with things that he scares you.
They won't help us out with the baby. I know it.
They kept talking about how much they were going to support you with the birth and raising the child, though.
It's all lies. It's going to be a nightmare.
If you want to raise your kid the right way, I don't think there's any issues here. Sean's mother will teach you how to raise your kid properly. You'll have no problems.
She won't help me raise the child, though. She'll make me do everything on my own.
If the way you want to raise your child is by forcing the child onto someone else in order to go out and do whatever you want when you want, well, then good luck. 'Cause Sean's mom will never let you get away with that.
See? I told you. I knew it. I don't want to go there. No.
Don't be so irresponsible as to have a child and abandon that child with someone else so you can have fun. You're going to become a parent. So you need to realize the responsibility that you have now and act accordingly.
Sean has a job here. He can't quit. We need that money.
I'm sure Sean will be fired from his company with the trespassing incident. There will be nothing holding you guys back from moving away from the city with Sean's parents. Knowing I don't have to see your face gives me a feeling like no other. I can finally sleep with peace of mind.
Sean is getting fired? How do you expect us to pay your compensation money without his job? The cell phone payments? Food? We won't be able to survive.
For starters, you can start by getting a lecture from the police and repenting your actions with them. Then, you'll get to work on the farm once you move in with Sean's parents. His mom will teach you well. I'm sure she'll whip you into shape.
What? So I don't get any time to relax? I don't want to be working all day. That's not my style.
You need to keep making payments to me anyways. I don't care what you have to do, but you'll pay me the money no matter what it takes. You'll have the farm to work on to make some money. Just be grateful that there's a job you can do. I won't let you make any late payments anymore, so you better pay me on time from now on.
Please, sis, don't let this happen to me. Even if it's just me, you gotta let me live at home with you. Worst case, I can just let Sean go back to live with his parents and work there. He can just send me money every month. We don't need to live together. So please, save me, sis. I can't handle living in the countryside with Sean's parents. Sophie, we're twins, right? We're supposed to have a special connection.
Special connection, huh? Even if we did have that, you betrayed me and destroyed every last bit of connection we had.
I don't want to be away from you and Mom. Sophie, I need you in my life.
You just want to use me as your maid. Make me take care of everything so you don't have to do any of the hard work. That's what you need me for, right?
I suck at doing house chores. I don't know how to clean anything. And cooking? You know how terrible I am at it. How am I supposed to make baby food? I only felt okay about having a baby because I thought you and Mom would be the ones to take care of the baby for me. Why would you leave me alone to deal with the baby alone? Please, oh please, don't do this to me.
Oh, it looks like the police arrived. Time's up. The security staff sent me a message. Just sit tight and don't go anywhere. You'll do what you have to do at the police station, and then you'll be on your way to the countryside with Sean's dad. You'll get to spend time in nature. It'll be refreshing. Maybe it'll help you reflect on yourself. They do say that being in nature heals you. Although I think it's safe to say you're broken beyond repair. I don't really care either way. We won't ever be speaking to each other ever again. I'm cutting you out of my life.
Don't be so hasty, Sophie. Please just give yourself time to calm down and rethink things. You know I can't stand living anywhere other than the city. I want with the police. Don't let them take me to the station. Please. I just want things to be like they have been all this time. Sophie? The police are really here. I can't believe it. Please tell the police not to just barge in. They can't do that.
In the end, Lisa and her criminal friend were taken to the police station after getting arrested. Although they gave the police a headache, they were released, along with Sean, who joined them later, with barely a slap on the wrist considering they didn't take anything and the fact that it was their first offense. Since they had nowhere else to go, they were immediately taken by Sean's parents to their home, far, far away from the city, surrounded by only nature. Now Lisa is getting strict training by Sean's mom on how to do house chores and raise a child. Lisa is now stuck doing everything on her own without any help. As for Sean, he's stuck doing farm work every day while breaking his back doing hard labor. His dad takes care of his monthly paycheck and manages the money to make sure I get my payments on time. I no longer have to deal with any late payments. Even though life in the countryside seems tough, it looks like Lisa and Sean don't have any of the energy, money, or resources that would allow them to leave. They'll be living there for a very, very long time. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.
Mia! I never thought that I would end up working at the same company as you! What a coincidence! What are the chances of this happening? I guess that we are just inseparable from each other.
Huh?
Oh, and by the way, I prefer to keep my work life and private life separate. Just FYI.
Huh?
I'm saying please don't try to be friendly with me at work just because we're childhood friends. We're just co-workers at the workplace. Nothing more and nothing less.
Huh?
Just what the hell is wrong with you? Stop replying like that.
That's what I should be saying. What is wrong with you? I thought I told you to never contact me again. But now you're texting me all of a sudden out of nowhere? On top of that, you're telling me that you're gonna be working for the same company as me? What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
What? Wait, don't tell me you didn't notice. We were at the same facility for today's induction program.
Wait, we were? I didn't notice at all.
Well, I was assigned as a temporary worker by a famous staffing agency. I wonder what kind of lame agency you came from. You were at the back of the room the whole time, and it looked like you had no idea what you were doing.
You've got to be kidding me, Mary. You're going to be working for Gentex?
Yep. My agency was basically begging me to take this job. I'm actually a very desired temporary worker, and my schedule is pretty much always filled out with job assignments. But my agency kept going on and on about how this company desperately needed a capable temporary worker. My agency seemed really desperate, so I decided to take the job, and that's why I started working here today.
Ah, I see. Well, I really didn't think that I would be working with you of all people.
Well, just make sure you don't spend all your time flirting with guys and at least try to pull your own weight. Don't drag the rest of us down with you. I really hate people that can't even pull their own weight at work.
Where is this even coming from?
Mia, weren't you flirting with the guy sitting next to you the whole time? It looked like you were having a great time.
People like you really get on my nerves.
You know that a workplace is a place where we are supposed to be working. Not a place to try to find people to hook up with. It's just so unprofessional.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just because you haven't gotten any in forever, I still think it's so wrong to be looking for guys to hook up with at work. It's so funny and sad at the same time how desperate you are.
What are you on about? I haven't been doing anything like that. Stop making up stuff like that.
What? Are you really sure? I thought you would be desperately looking for another guy because I stole your fiancé from you.
What?
Well, we have lots of history between us, but I really hope that we can leave that all behind and get along well. We're both adults now, and I guess we're going to be co-workers, so we may as well try to get along.
No way. You've got to be kidding me. Mary, I still haven't forgiven you for stealing Clark. To be completely honest with you, just texting you right now is actually really painful and something I could do without.
Wait, you're still angry about something that happened 3 years ago? We're childhood friends, right? Surely you should have forgiven me by now. I can't believe how close-minded you are.
You've got to be kidding me.
I think I've paid enough over these 3 years for what happened. It should be water under the bridge by now. On top of that, I ended up breaking up with Clark anyway. I haven't kept in contact with him since the breakup. Isn't it about time you forgave me? I'm so tired of you playing the victim and talking about things that happened so long ago. Let's just move on already.
What is with your attitude? It seems like you're not sorry at all for what you did.
Why should I be? I really don't think I did anything wrong in the first place. It's not my fault that he found me more attractive than you.
What? You're really getting on my nerves now.
Make sure you do your best at work so I don't end up stealing your job as well. I'm a very capable temporary worker, you know. While you're busy flirting with that guy next to you, I might end up in your position before you know it. If that ends up happening, I guess you're going to be fired. Get ready to say goodbye to your contract, Mia.
Hey, boss. How was your day today?
Hey, John. It wasn't too bad. What's up?
I thought I would message you because I noticed some strange things at the induction program that we had today. There was this one person that kept on looking in your direction throughout the program. Do you have any idea who it might be?
Ah, that would probably be Mary. We grew up together. We used to be pretty close, actually.
Yes, I think that was her. She was staring at you the whole time. I guess you had noticed her staring as well then.
Actually, I didn't notice at all at the time. She sent me a text a couple of hours ago, and that's when I found out. Although the funny thing is, I think she is mistaking me for another one of the temps.
Ah, I see. Sorry if this question is a little personal, but is she the childhood friend that you were talking about the other day? The one that stole your fiancé from you?
Yep. What a coincidence, right? I really didn't expect her, out of all people, to come and work for us.
Then, would you want me to terminate her contract and find someone else to fill up her position? I can talk to her agency directly if you would like. They might even be able to send us a replacement straight away.
Actually, could you wait a little bit before talking to her agency? I thought about terminating her contract straight away, but I think it's not right to bring in personal matters to the workplace.
I respect your decision either way, boss.
Mary's just a temporary worker, and this is our workplace. I only happened to be at the induction today to take a look at the program. I don't think that I'm going to be interacting with her very often on most days. I think for now, we should go ahead and hire her for the time being.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, but keep an eye on her just in case, would you? I have a strange feeling she is going to do something very stupid.
Okay, boss. I'll make sure to keep an eye on her for the time being. I'll make sure to tell the Human Resources Department to keep an eye on her too, just in case.
Hey, Mia! You work here full-time? I can't believe it! Why didn't you tell me, you liar?
Mary, I didn't lie to you. I never said anything about being a temp. That's what you assumed.
Shut up! Don't get so cocky just because you're a full-time employee.
What are you on about?
I thought that we were both temping, but I couldn't find your desk anywhere. I asked around, but no one would tell me anything about you. Well, I really didn't expect someone like you to be a full-time employee.
It doesn't matter if you're a temporary worker or a full-time worker. We all cooperate and do our best working for this company. I hope we can get along well as co-workers from now on. Well, I've got to go back to work now. Goodbye.
Hey! Don't run away, you loser!
What's wrong with you?
You're just a lame loser that lost your fiancé to me. There's no way that you're a full-time worker and I'm just a temporary worker. Did you think that I would just let this slide? Switch positions with me right now.
What? You're unbelievable.
I was just about looking for a full-time job anyway. I guess this is perfect timing. I'm a very capable temporary worker, so I'm sure there would be no problem whatsoever switching positions with you. I'm going to be a full-time employee from today.
There's just no way that is going to happen.
Oh, trust me, it is going to happen.
Our company has a policy where we can potentially accept you as a full-time employee if you work here for a year. Of course, we can't employ everyone full-time, so you have to prove that you're capable.
There's no way I'm waiting around for an entire year. Do you really think that you're a more capable worker than me? I think that it would be in the best interest of this company to employ me full-time instead of you.
I'm not too sure about that.
Wait, so you do think that you're more capable than me? Some loser like you that couldn't even hold on to your own fiancé? Go take a look at your miserable self in the mirror.
Excuse me.
It's so obvious that I am so much more attractive than you. You're just an unappealing woman that guys are happy to leave behind as soon as an opportunity comes up. You really don't deserve to have a full-time position, so hurry up and change positions with me.
Wait a second. Mary, do you really think that how attractive you are should determine your position at this company? Surely there are other factors that should determine your position within a company.
Women are judged by how good we look, not how well we work. That's just how the world works, Mia. If you're beautiful like me, everyone is so friendly and they even do my work for me sometimes.
Nothing about that makes you a capable worker. Anyway, there is no way that me and you are going to be switching positions in this company. Stop saying stupid things and get back to your work.
Why should I listen to some fiancé-less loser like you? When I tell you to do something, stop making up excuses and just do it. Give me your full-time position right now. If you don't, I'm just going to take it from you, just like I did in the past. Losing your job on top of losing your fiancé. Do you really want that to happen? You know this is no idle threat.
Mary, I've had enough of you already. You do know that I can terminate your contract whenever I want to.
Just because you're a full-time employee, it doesn't give you the right to fire me. Do you really not know something as basic as that?
I really don't think you're in a position to lecture me about the company rules.
You know that I'm going to take everything that I want from a loser like you. It's been this way ever since we were kids. You've always been a loser, and you always will be. Stop acting so cocky and just listen to what I say. Please leave this company right now so I don't have to see your sorry face ever again.
You do know that this is my company, right? I'm the president.
Wait, what?
I'm amazed you could say something like that to your boss. You've got a lot of nerve, I'll give you that.
Huh? What? You're the boss? I don't believe you.
You said that a mere full-time employee doesn't have the right to terminate your contract. Well, unfortunately, I'm the boss here. So I have every right to get rid of someone like you whenever I want to. In fact, I could give the order right now.
Wait, please.
What did you say again? I'll always be a loser? Well, guess what? You're living off of a paycheck from a company that is owned by the so-called loser. I wonder what kind of person that makes you.
Wait, I'm sorry.
If you really don't like the fact that I'm your boss, then please leave this company right now. I'd be happy to contact your agency for you and explain to them what happened.
Wait, give me a minute. You're the boss? That's a lie, right? There's no way. I never thought you would become so successful. Why didn't I hear anything about this?
Well, I had cut all ties with you. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you anything after what happened. I also made sure to tell people around us not to mention anything about me to you.
No way!
So, is it okay to assume that you're going to be leaving this company? Thank you so much for making my job easier.
Wait! I didn't say anything about leaving this job. Stop jumping to conclusions. I don't plan on quitting.
Okay, that's fine by me. I'll make sure to give the order myself to get your contract terminated.
Wait, what?
Hey, didn't I tell you already? Since I'm the boss here, I get to make all of the decisions.
No way! That's not fair!
Oh, by the way, please don't get me wrong. I'm not firing you because of personal reasons in the past. I'm firing you because I believe that the attitude you have towards your job is not acceptable for this company.
Huh? You're firing me because of my attitude?
Mary, I've heard so much about your attitude from the rest of the staff. I hear that you've been spouting nonsense about becoming a full-time employee. On top of that, I hear you've been forcing your task as a temporary worker onto other people.
Wait, about that.
Our company doesn't need people that force their jobs onto other people. Please gather up all of your belongings and get going. I'll let everyone know that today is your last day at this company.
Please, wait!
Well, best of luck. Also, one more thing. Please don't ever contact me again.
Hey, boss. Mary's contract has been officially terminated. She will no longer work here after today. All of the paperwork has been completed now. Her replacement worker should also be arriving tomorrow to take up her position.
Thank you as always, John. I'm very glad to have a capable assistant like you to carry out tasks like this.
Of course, boss. That is what I am hired to do. Actually, I had kind of prepared in advance as I didn't think that she would last very long here.
Oh, really? What made you think that?
Well, remember when you told me to keep an eye on her? I made sure to closely monitor her everyday actions. Her attitude and actions seemed very unprofessional. She was not the kind of person that should be working at a company like ours. That's why I had the paperwork to get her contract terminated ready for whenever it was required.
I had heard a little about her causing some problems in her day-to-day activities from the Human Resources Department. But it sounds like she was a lot more than just a small problem.
To be completely honest with you, she was so much worse than just a small problem.
Oh goodness. What else did she do?
I'll let you know more in detail at lunch break if you would like. For now, I've got to head to the Human Resources Department. I will see you later.
Okay, sounds good. Please let me hear more about her at lunch today. Well, I've got to get back to work as well. I have things that I have to get done by the end of the day. Send me a message at around 12 and we can have lunch together. Also, could you grab some food to go from that restaurant down the street for lunch? I kind of want pizza today. Extra olives if possible. Thanks.
Of course, boss.
Hey, Mia! Hope you're doing well. I was wondering if you could give me a full-time position at your company.
I'm working right now. Stop messing around and sending me stupid messages.
I'm not messing around. I'm asking you for real this time. Thanks to you, I've been cut from my staffing agency, and I really need to work. Can't you help me out even a little? I thought we were childhood friends.
Oh, how strange. I thought that you were a very capable and popular worker. You're always so busy and your work calendar is always full, isn't it?
Actually, I had some problems with the agency, so I decided to quit working for them. Right now, I am actually unemployed. I don't want to become homeless. Please, would you just give me a job at your company? You're the boss. Isn't it an easy thing to do? I just need a job, that's all.
Yes, it's very easy for me to hire someone, but there's no way I would hire you, Mary.
Please, I'm begging you. I'm sorry I said some offensive things to you during my time at your company. It's because I didn't know that you were the boss of the company. Mia, you're a childhood friend that I'm very proud of, and I'll make sure to work very hard for you and your company. I'll make sure to work hard to repay you for all of the times I've hurt you in the past.
Huh? What are you saying?
We have a lot of history between us. I regret a lot of things I've done, and I've been meaning to apologize to you. I'm so sorry for stealing Clark from you. I know that just saying sorry probably isn't going to mean too much to you. So I want to prove how sorry I am with my actions.
Wait, so you're saying that you're going to prove how sorry you are by working for my company?
Yep. I'll make sure to work very, very hard. I'm sure I can greatly increase the profits of the company, too. Can't you see how great this is going to be for the both of us? So please, just give me a job as a full-time employee.
I'm sorry. I don't want to work with someone without basic manners. It's pointless acting like a good girl all of a sudden. I'm not falling for it. Just give up already.
Don't say that! I don't have a job and I'm struggling to pay rent. We're childhood friends, right? Who cares about some small arguments we've had recently? Don't just cut me off like that. That's so mean of you.
There's always plenty of other jobs available. Why does it have to be here? Why don't you try applying for another staffing agency for temporary workers?
I've been banned from working at all other staffing agencies. So please, I'm begging you. I have nowhere else to go to.
How come?
I really don't know why, but I've been having trouble keeping the same job for an extended amount of time. That's why I was working as a temporary worker at a staffing agency. But even my temporary jobs always seem to end so quickly. The agency I was working for yesterday was my last hope. But I ended up leaving that agency too, so I really have nowhere else to go now. We had some troubles between us, but we're childhood friends, right? Please, let's just move on from what happened in the past and help each other out.
You want to help each other out? Well, if you really want to help me out, then please just leave me alone and never contact me again.
Wait, are you for real?
I think I know the reason why you can't stay employed at the same company for a long time. It's because you keep flirting and sleeping around with guys at each company, right?
No. Where did you ever hear something like that?
I've heard you've even been sleeping around with guys that have partners and wives. No wonder you have trouble staying employed.
Wait, what? How do you know about something like that?
My very capable subordinate did some research for me.
Wait, really?
No matter where you go, you always cause trouble and you keep losing your contract, right? Hey, didn't you say to me that I was so unprofessional and desperate for flirting with the guy sitting next to me? I'm very surprised those words came out of the mouth of someone like you.
Wait, no, I didn't mean to say that.
I also heard that during your time working for my company, you were flirting with your coworkers. Not just one guy, but multiple guys at the same time. Do you know what a workplace is for?
Wait, what? You know about all of that too?
My subordinate is very, very good at his job. That's why.
No way!
This company is really important to me. I don't want to ruin our reputation by employing someone like you. So for the sake of this company and me, please just give up and never contact me again.
Wait, please give me one last chance. I won't flirt with any of the guys here. I promise. So please, don't cut me off completely. I really need money right now. I can't afford to be unemployed right now. I have so much debt to pay off.
Oh, you would be in debt on top of everything. So that's why you're so desperate?
Yep. To tell you the truth, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs.
Are you for real?
Remember when I ran off with Clark? We moved into an apartment a little above my means. When he found out I was cheating on him and took off, I was left paying the rent on my own. Well, thanks to that, I lost most of my savings that I had. That really pissed me off, so I ended up sleeping around with a married guy. When his wife found out and confronted me, well, let's say things got out of hand and there was some property damage I was responsible for.
Oh my god. No way.
I had to borrow some money to pay that off as well. I started to get really stressed and ended up sleeping around with other married guys. I just really have never been able to get back on my feet since the whole thing with you and Clark.
I'm really lost for words. I guess people like you never learn their lesson.
Please don't say stuff like that to me. We're childhood friends, remember? We've known each other for so long. Don't just give up on me.
Just because we're childhood friends, it doesn't mean that I have any responsibility to save you. You kind of deserve what you have coming for you. Please just figure out your problems by yourself and leave me out of this.
But the reason I'm in this mess is all your fault. It's because of you that I even met Clark. If it hadn't been for you flaunting him in my face all this time, none of this would have happened.
No way did you just blame all of this on me.
If it wasn't for that time, I wouldn't have lost all of my savings. I wouldn't have gotten so stressed that I slept with a married man. It's all your fault.
Yeah, why don't you just keep on living like that, blaming everything that happens on other people? If you really think that is going to solve all your problems that you're having.
Wait. I didn't actually mean what I said. It's not your fault at all, Mia. I'm sorry. It's all my fault, right? I get that now. Deep down, I know that it's all my fault. So please, don't cut me out of your life.
Oh, look, it's almost time for my meeting at work.
Wait, no! Don't leave yet. We're still talking. I'm your childhood friend. Please help me.
Well, please never ever show up in front of me or contact me again. Goodbye. My childhood friend Mary was never employed by any staffing agency ever again. Currently, she is working as a cashier at a local gas station and living paycheck to paycheck. Later on, I heard from John that Mary owes somewhere in the ballpark of $500K, all things told. Apparently, her family has cut ties with her as well due to her actions. I suppose she blames me for that as well. Hopefully, she wakes up and takes responsibility for her own life someday. Thanks for watching! If you like this video, please press the like button.
Hey, how are you feeling? You must be totally bummed out by this, right? I bet you're doing your best not to be sad, aren't you? You're so strong. I can't believe they finally just told you to get out. I never thought it would happen. Life can be so cruel, can't it, sis?
Oh, you're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Of course I am. Who wouldn't be? Mom and Dad threw you out just for me. Now David can move in here, and there's enough space for everyone. And it's all thanks to you.
Oh, right. You're gonna get married to that jerk you're seeing. How old is he? About 50? I just wonder how that's gonna turn out for you.
Excuse me? Jerk? What right do you have to call my boyfriend a jerk? And he's 35 for your information?
Still pretty old to be going out with a 22-year-old who's never stayed in the same job for more than 5 minutes. And too old to be living with his girlfriend's parents.
Just because you were good at school doesn't mean you have the right to judge other people's relationships. You're so mean.
Yeah, you're right. I'm very sorry. I never meant to hurt your feelings. I hope you'll be very happy together. Can I get back to work now? I have a lot to do. You suit each other anyway. Jerk.
Shut up, Dawn! You're so annoying. That's why no one in her family likes you. Mom and Dad both said so too. You always say things like that and you think you're funny, but you're not. I can't believe you try and make out that you're better than me. Especially after you got thrown out with the trash by your own parents.
I know you all hate me, Kayla. That's not a surprise. How could I not notice when you spend all your time either talking down to me or treating me like I don't exist? And it was always our parents who made everything into a competition between us. They basically made sure we never liked each other. So I'm not gonna go around looking for love and affection from any of you, now am I? I'm not that stupid.
No, I guess there's nothing to love about you anyway. But I mean, when you were always treated like the second best child, it's not a surprise you got a bit messed up. Wait, we're not supposed to be talking about your stupid sob story. You wouldn't be treated like that if you didn't deserve it. Actually, Dad and Mom said they wanted me to ask you something. That's why I messaged you. They want to know if you've finished moving out yet. Haven't you picked up the rest of your stuff? Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe they're making me text you about this. Why can't Mom just text you?
I don't know. Ask her. She's there with you, isn't she? Anyway, I've packed everything. I'm moving it after work today. I'm actually super excited to get out of there as well, so don't worry.
Oh, look at you putting on a brave face as if you're pleased your parents threw you out.
This isn't me putting on a brave face. I'm glad I have an excuse to move out and get my own place. I've been waiting for this for ages.
You can't be serious. You're excited to have to pay your own rent and bills? Oh well, whatever. I'm just pleased I don't have to worry about you always being there. It's gonna be so nice without you. I'm stoked I don't have to care about your sad, pitiful life from now on. You can pay rent and get into as much debt as you like. It won't be my problem.
You think my life is gonna be pitiful. I really don't plan on being as miserable as you seem to think. Actually, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be the ones having the most trouble, but I don't want to worry you.
Are you still trying to pretend this is all fine with you? You can say whatever you like, but you seem totally fine living with us for such a long time. I don't know why you're suddenly trying to suggest you wanted to move out or something. Mom and Dad told me they want me to live with them for as long as I want, basically. They said I don't need to worry. It was just you they really don't need hanging around all the time. But I guess you'll just have to get by on your own if you can. They're not going to look after you anymore. You've completely understood that, right? You can't come around in a couple weeks crying and saying you've had enough of being alone.
Kayla, don't worry. I'm not like you. I can take care of myself and I'm totally happy to. You, on the other hand, should probably learn to look after yourself a bit better. You need a proper job instead of always quitting every time your boss asks you to clean something or whatever.
What are you trying to say? Are you making fun of me because I don't want to sit behind a desk all day or wipe someone else's dirty kitchen grease? You don't have to look down on me. You always act like having a full-time job makes you so much better than me. I went to college too, Dawn, and I'd rather be getting my new headshots done and boosting my followers than be a fat, ugly loser behind an office desk like you.
I'm just saying maybe you should be looking for something a little more reliable. You could do a desk job and save up, and then after a while you could do whatever it is you really want to do.
Shut up! Stop trying to tell me what I should or shouldn't be doing. You're just jealous that I'm pursuing my dream.
Right. I won't try and give you any more advice, don't worry. You're such an unpleasant little sister, you know that? I guess this is what people mean when they say someone's a spoiled brat. I wonder which one of us is really the most messed up. Mom and Dad really spoiled you. It's no wonder you're completely delusional.
Seriously, what is this? I'm not a spoiled brat. I don't know why you're suddenly acting like you're better than all of us. And anyway, I'd definitely rather spend my life being looked after and loved by guys and by my parents. It's obviously much better than being thrown out of my house and told never to come back.
Fine, everyone's different. Of course, you're welcome to think that. I won't be going back, so don't worry about me getting in your way again. Have a nice life, Kayla.
Oh, thanks. Actually, we really are having a great time right now. We're out of town on vacation. I think that's why Mom and Dad want to make sure your stuff is all gone so they can change the locks when we get home.
Oh, lovely. You know, I really don't care, so you don't need to give me all the details. I'm supposed to be finishing up work now. Are we done yet?
You're so annoying. I'm just letting you know your key won't work after that, so you should just throw it away after you pick up your things. Besides, You should be thankful that Mom and Dad are arranging their plans around you so you can come and get your things before we change the locks. And I've taken time out of my very busy schedule to message you and make sure you know what's going on.
I'm not thankful to any of you. You're just wasting my time. I already told you I'm moving my things today after work, so I'm going over there pretty much now. Why would I be thankful to a family that have just treated me like garbage for most of my life?
How can you say that? Nobody's treated you like garbage. I should show Mom and Dad your messages. They'll be so mad if they know what you really think of them. You're lucky we're not at home, because if we were, you'd probably get there and find all of your stuff outside on the front lawn.
Oh, go ahead and snitch on me. I don't care. What you all think doesn't concern me at all anymore. The only thing I'm thankful for is that none of you will be there when I move out.
You're such a horrible, rude person. I'm so glad you won't be my sister anymore. It's embarrassing to have such a rude, disgusting person around.
Sure. We're done, right? Bye.
Goodbye. Don't ever come back, stupid, ugly freak.
Hey, Kayla, where are you? When are you getting home?
Hey, Mom, what's up? Is something wrong?
You need to come home and help me clean. You told me you'd help out with the chores now that your sister doesn't live here anymore. Exactly when are you planning to do any of the things you promised to help with?
Oh, right. Sorry, Mom. I have a date with David today. We're going to see a movie. I'll be back after dinner. I don't think I can manage it today. Maybe tomorrow?
That's exactly what you said last week, and you haven't done anything since then. Do you think you could set aside just a couple of hours of your time to help with the things you promised to do? These bedrooms need to be clean and tidy, and I can't do everything by myself.
Which bedroom are you tidying? My bedroom.
No, I'm talking about Dawn's room. I told her to clean when she was leaving, but she hasn't done anything. It's a complete mess in there. I told you I'd need your help with it, and you said you'd get it sorted. Don't you remember? We can't use that room until it's been cleaned up properly. I was planning on redecorating, but we can't get anything done while it's in that state.
Dawn's room? Can't you just make her come around and sort it out?
I thought about that. I've tried texting her about it, but she hasn't even read my messages. And she won't answer my calls either.
What? She's ignoring you completely? Who does she think she is? I'd like to see her try that with me.
There's no need to get so mad about it, Kayla. It's not like we didn't know she'd do something like this. She's always had a bad attitude. I'm not surprised if she thinks she can just act like she doesn't know me.
But isn't this a bit too much, even for her? That time when we were away and she was supposed to be moving out, I actually went out of my way to message her to see if she was done yet. And she was so rude about it. It's like she doesn't even consider us family anymore. She was acting all mad, like I was the one who was being rude. I couldn't believe it.
Well, that's nothing new either, is it? She's always been a selfish and vindictive person. But people like her are always like that. Ugly people have to make up for their lack of attractiveness by being mean and trying to be smarter than everybody else.
Mom, you're the one being mean. You can't call your own daughter ugly, even if it's true. You're the one who went through all the pain of giving birth to her.
Yes, I know that. I think that gives me the right to tell the truth about her, doesn't it? I've always been surprised that your father and I could have a child who was so unlike us. She's just so utterly lacking in charm. If I hadn't given birth to her, I'd be convinced she wasn't mine. I've never felt any affection for her at all. We just never got on right from the start.
Mom, that's so mean. What does Dad think? Does he say the same? What if it turned out that she got switched at birth in the hospital and she isn't really related to us?
Your father, what he says is actually worse sometimes. I probably shouldn't say this to you. Whenever we had dinner together, he'd turn around to me after she left the room and say, I don't know what to do with that kid. She's just plain unattractive in every way. Or, no one's gonna marry that girl. And things like that.
Oh my God, I can't believe Dad would say that. Oh, I really want to tell her. I'd love to see the look on her pimply face if she knew even her own dad thinks she's gross.
Let's just leave it, Kayla. She's basically a stranger to us now. We can just pretend like she never even existed.
Oh, that's true. But I'd love to tell her someday.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. What time are you getting home today?
I don't know, nighttime? I haven't really thought about it.
Can't you get home a bit earlier tonight? I had some things I really wanted to talk to you about. About David and your room and some other stuff. I was thinking maybe you both can come back here after your date and we could have a little chat.
Oh, it's okay. I can tell David if there's something you want to say.
Well, I suppose if you guys are already together, perhaps that will be fine. It's nothing complicated, it's just kind of important. You promise you'll definitely tell him?
Yeah, sure, I'll tell him. Is it something about him moving in with us?
Yes, actually, it's about that. He's planning on moving in here next week, isn't he? That's what you decided. We just need to discuss some things, like how much he's going to be contributing to the household and so on. What's his lifestyle like? I've never really asked him. Does he stay up late or sleep in on weekends? Does he work out? How much stuff is he bringing? I guess he's going to be helping out with the cleaning and other chores like you, so I just wonder what he does at his place now. He lives with his mom and dad now, right?
Who's gonna be helping with the chores?
I'm talking about David when he lives with us. What chores does he do at his mom and dad's place?
David? I don't know why.
Because David and yourself need to be responsible for some of your own cleaning and laundry and things. You're both grown adults. Besides, there were a lot of things that Dawn was doing when she lived here that aren't getting done properly since she moved out. Your father is getting upset about it.
Like what things? I don't think Dawn ever did anything special.
I told you when she moved out, when I said you need to help out more. She used to do the vacuuming on the weekend and pull weeds in the yard and things.
Well, but I didn't really think we could ask David to do any of that stuff since he's such a new addition to the family. Aren't those things your job, Mom? I saw you with a vacuum cleaner last week. You're just trying to offload your own jobs. And anyway, David doesn't have a job right now, so I don't think we can ask him to pay rent or anything. I can't tell him you said all this weird stuff, Mom.
What? He's unemployed. I thought you said he was a real estate agent.
He is, but he's working on setting up his own business right now. He sometimes goes to show people around for his friend who has a real estate company. And his friend is letting him come in sometimes to see how the business works. But honestly, I think they just shut the office door and play PlayStation when he's there. I think he'll probably be spending most days at home after he moves in. He's trying to build up his online presence, so he's on the computer a lot.
Hold on a second. He's not earning anything right now. I don't think that's gonna work, Kayla. He can't just live here and not pay anything toward the food and bills. You don't think he'll help with the chores either. I'm not gonna be doing all the work around here forever.
What do you mean? Just before you said Dawn was doing a bunch of housework and things, but you've been doing it since she left. I don't see why you can't just keep doing that stuff. It's not like she did everything around the house.
What are you saying? Of course she did everything. She knew we were being generous by letting her live with us, so she had to pay for it by making sure everything was nice and clean.
Are you serious? She did all the cleaning?
That's why I'm saying David needs to be able to pull his weight. I can't do everything by myself, and you obviously aren't going to do it. Don't you think it's fair? If he's not planning on paying any rent or contributing to the bills, he should help in other ways.
David isn't gonna do it. You can't make my boyfriend do your stupid housework. Can we just hire a cleaner? I won't forgive you if I found out you've been asking him to clean up your mess and wash your dirty laundry.
Well then, is he gonna go out and find a job so we can afford a cleaner? Because if you and I aren't working and neither is he, we definitely can't afford it. Dawn was giving us $2,000 per month towards household expenses and food. At least one of you needs to be contributing about that much. Or you can share it out. But if you don't give us some money, you won't be able to live here.
What? $2,000 per month? You can't be serious! What about Dad's salary? He's working, isn't he?
Of course he's working. But this is a secret, okay? Don't tell him I told you this. His salary really isn't that high. We need you guys to contribute so we can still pay the mortgage and bills.
What? I never knew that.
Well, he used to make much more money, but with the restructuring at his company, they moved him into a lower pay grade and cut his hours down. He said we should be thankful he didn't get laid off, but honestly, I don't know how he could just sit there and accept a pay cut. But anyway, Dawn was helping us bring in enough money to keep up with the mortgage repayments. That's why we were able to afford nice things. And I thought, because you said that David was a real estate agent, he'd be able to contribute too. Now you tell us he's unemployed? If one of you doesn't start contributing the same amount that Dawn paid, we'll be in trouble, won't we? Don't you agree?
But David and I can't afford that. And I definitely don't want to ask him. How could I? Just because Dawn could afford that doesn't mean that we can. We're both just starting out in our businesses. We need time to get established. David would never agree to it. He'd just leave me and move straight back in with his parents. Do you want to see me all sad and alone, Mom?
Well, no.
If you need help with the mortgage, why don't you call Dawn and ask her to pay? I think you should try it. She might fall for it if you think of some smart reason she should pay.
Oh, right. I hadn't thought of that. Probably if I tell her she still owes us for all those years she lived with us as a child, she'll probably agree to help us out. I think it's reasonable. After all, we did pay for her when she wasn't old enough to work, and she lived here all through college and saved money on rent.
It's definitely reasonable. Call her. And don't mention any of this to David. I'll be so mad if you do.
Fine. I won't say anything to him about money. I know he's important to you. I'm sorry, okay? I'll call Dawn.
You do that. Let me know what she says. Mom, what's wrong? Are you trying to call me?
Kayla, where are you now? Something's wrong. I need you to come home right away.
What happened? No one's in the hospital, are they?
Just come home as soon as you can. I need you here. I just finally managed to get in touch with Dawn. You'll never believe it. She absolutely refused to help us out. She says she's not sending any money no matter how many times we ask.
What? How dare she?
This is terrible. What are we going to do now? First, she started talking to me like I was a perfect stranger. She was so polite, as though she was talking to someone she worked with or something. She told me outright she never once thought of me as her mother, even when she was a little girl. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I think my heart is broken. I never thought I could be treated this way by one of my children. At least I have you, Kayla. I know you'll never betray me.
I can't believe her. Who does she think she is? She's got no right to treat you like a stranger after all you've done for her. Hold on, Mom. I'll see if I can talk to her.
Are you sure? That'd be so kind of you. I'm sure I haven't done anything to deserve this treatment. You know, if we can't get through to her, we'll absolutely have to ask David to contribute some money towards the household. Otherwise, we'll be destitute.
I've already told you. There's no way we can ask him right now. I'll sort it out. Whatever happens, I'll make sure that ugly freak pays her way. I'll talk to her.
Thanks, Kayla. Let me know how it goes.
I can't believe your nerve. After all the years you spent leeching off Mom and Dad and living at home, you'd refuse to help out with money? Are you repaying all their kindness with hatred and resentment? Is that the kind of person you are? I guess even ugly people can be vindictive and mean. Don't you have any shame? I think you should send the $2,000 as soon as you get this message. Otherwise, how are we going to pay the bills and the mortgage and stuff?
I guess that might cause you people some problems, but it won't really affect me, will it?
Excuse me, who are you calling you people?
And from where I'm standing, it's not me who's been repaying kindness with hatred, it's you people. Ever since I was in high school, I've had part-time jobs because I was forced by our parents to work and give them money to help with the bills. And meanwhile, Mom and you just sat at home painting your toenails and having pool parties and stuff. Even when I was at college, I thought I might move out and get my own place and finally be free. But no, Mom and Dad said I wasn't allowed and I had to choose a college closer to home so I could live at home and work on the weekends and keep giving them money. It's not fair, Kayla, and I'm ending it now.
But you're their child. It's totally fair that you should contribute to the household.
Well, then why shouldn't you do the same? I noticed they've never asked you to get a part-time job and pay to live at home. And when I became an adult and I thought I could finally live on my own, I was told I had to stay and give them half of my salary every month. And not just that, the first year I was working, my salary was so low that Mom just took all of it each month. That first Christmas after I finished college, I begged her to let me keep some money so I could get myself a little gift, but she refused. And then I got nothing and you got a brand new hair straightener. I'm pretty sure that I paid for that, and you never even noticed or said thanks or anything. She even asked to see my bank statements because she thought I might be lying to her and keeping some of my money for myself. No chance. There was never any left.
That all sounds totally fine to me. It's normal for people to help pay the bills, isn't it? You were living in their house and you were an adult working a full-time job. Why shouldn't you pay your way?
But the same goes for you, doesn't it? You're an adult. Why don't you get a job and pay your way?
That's a totally different situation. For a start, I'm a nice, beautiful person. Everyone says so. And my parents love me and take care of me. We're family, and family doesn't have to pay. But it's different because you're not family like we are. You never have been.
Oh my God, you sound just like Mom. That's exactly what she said, almost word for word. You've been poisoned to think just like her. I guess she succeeded in bringing up a little mini-me version of herself. There's no hope for any of you.
What are you saying? Are you making fun of your own family?
You literally just said I'm not family. How is it bad for me to make fun of you losers?
I don't have time for this. Just stop complaining about the past and call Mom and tell her you'll start sending the money again. She's so upset that you refused, Dawn. I can't believe you'd be so mean to her.
I really don't care. I'm not sending the money. There's no way I would even dream of it. So you can all just forget about me. Goodbye, Kayla. Please stop contacting me before I report you for harassment.
What? You can't report us? You have to call Mom. You better not start ignoring me, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, you're still using this number, aren't you? What's your annual salary? I need to know. You have to tell me. We're in real trouble now. You should know.
I don't have to tell you anything. Didn't I tell you to stop contacting me or I would report you to the police? Actually, I could just block your number, couldn't I? I've been so busy with work these days, I didn't even think about it. I'll do it now.
Don't! You have to answer me. How much are you earning? You don't have the right to block me. I'm your family.
Excuse me. I feel like you and I are only family when it suits you. I don't need any justification if I want to block your number. I can block whoever I want. You have some very weird opinions, Kayla. Are you sure you're not the kind of person who says stuff like ugly people don't have rights and I'm not a racist butt?
No, I never say stuff like that because I'm not a horrid, vindictive loser like you. Can you just shut up and tell me how much you earn? It doesn't have to be exact, just give me a ballpark figure.
You're not going to stop going on at me until I tell you, are you? What I told her idiot parents is $60,000 per year. But if you add on what I make with overtime and then my freelance proofreading work, it's more like $100,000 a year.
$100,000? Are you serious? What's proofreading?
Yeah, I'm serious. You know, Mom and Dad, they're always on about money, like that's the only thing in the world that's important to them. Last year, I started picking up work as a proofreader for college entrance essays and stuff, and so now I have that as kind of a side hustle. I just check the essays for mistakes and stuff. I get a lot of commissions from kids who want to get into my old college. It's pretty easy work once you get into it. But if I didn't do that, there's no way I would have been able to afford to give Mom and Dad $2,000 a month.
I still don't understand what that is. But you must have so much cash just lying around. You have to send us some. Mom is absolutely desperate. She started dropping hints whenever David is in the room about him paying to live with us. It's out of control. I have to hide my face or leave the room.
I really don't understand why you think it's my responsibility to support you guys. There's literally 4 grown adults under one roof, and only one of you has a job. What does Dad say? Can he support you all on his salary? He is the man of the house after all. And isn't your fiancé working? I thought you said he was in real estate.
No, it's seriously bad. Dad's contract didn't get renewed at his office. He's unemployed now. He just sits in his comfy chair reading the newspapers and glaring at us. And David is still working on starting his own company, so he's not making any money.
Are you serious? That's hilarious. It's even better than I expected.
What do you mean? It's not funny.
No, it really is. It's pure comedy gold. I haven't been so happy for years. All 4 of you stuck in the same house, and not one of you has a job. I bet you can't stand each other. So, what were you texting me about?
You know what I was texting about.
Oh, right. So sorry, but I'm super busy with work these days. I'll see you around.
What? Wait, Dawn? Are you there? Stop doing that! Dawn, are you there? I really need you. You have to help me. I think David is gonna leave me and it's all your fault.
Oh, Kayla, how's it going? I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you back to entertain me again with your stories? I'm so glad I didn't block your number. I need to laugh sometimes.
Don't make fun of me, Dawn. I'm serious. This is all your fault. You can afford to send us just like $1,000 a month or something, can't you? That's not much.
What's not much? I don't understand. You can't be about to tell me I'm supposed to be sending you money out of my salary again, right? I thought we were done with that nonsense.
No, you have to. We can't afford the bills anymore. Mom keeps yelling at me to get you to move back in with us. I don't know why it's always my responsibility to talk to you. But she says it's either that or I have to break up with David because he's not part of the family and she won't have him in the house if he's not going to pay his way.
Sounds reasonable, actually. About your boyfriend, anyway. If he's living with you, shouldn't he be contributing a little bit? What happened to him starting his own real estate business? Is he sad he might be thrown out of Mom and Dad's house?
He's still working on it. It's difficult to find clients. All the real estate companies around are run by greedy, scheming, evil old men. Anyway, David got mad that Mom kept asking him to pay, so he moved back in with his own parents. I don't even know if we're still together. He's not answering my calls.
Oh no, how sad. I guess that means David left you, not David might leave you. So sad for you, Kayla.
I don't know what to do, Dawn. Why won't you just help us out for a little bit? Mom said the utility bill is super high this month, and she says it's my fault because David was always turning on the air conditioner. How is that my fault? She wants me to pay the whole amount, but I don't have any money now. I don't know what to do.
Hey, I have an idea. You could get a job.
I can't. I won't be able to find a job right now.
Why not? Is there something wrong with you? Have you thought of declaring bankruptcy or applying for unemployment benefit?
We can't go bankrupt. We'd lose the house. Seriously, Dawn. For someone who acts all smart, you do say some stupid things.
Then I think at least one of you needs to go out and find a job. Maybe if all 3 of you were working, you'd be able to pay the bills and live comfortably. Just a thought.
But everything would be so much easier if you came back to live with us. You could help us out for a while, and we could start looking for jobs, don't you think? Please, Dawn, just for a short time.
Would you really get a job, though? Or would you just say that and then sponge off of me for as long as you could? I'm not falling for this again, Kayla. We're done now. Mom and Dad threw me out and told me to never come back. You told me yourself never to come back.
I'll sort everything out with Mom and Dad. They'll be so nice to you. I think Mom would even be happy for you to just pay $1,500 a month. I think we could get by on that for a while.
Oh, she'd be happy with just $1,500 a month, would she? I can't believe your nerve. Do you even understand the situation here? You're asking the one person that you tormented all your life to come and move in with you and support you so that you don't need to get a job and pay your own bills. You called me ugly and made a fool out of me for years, Kayla. Have you forgotten? And you can stand there and say just 1,500 as though you're doing me a favor?
But that's why I think you should come back. We never treated you right, so give us another chance. We can't live without you. We've tried, but it's impossible. We just can't earn that much money between us. If you come back, we'll treat you right and we'll make up for everything.
Just a second. What are you saying? Is this supposed to be your way of apologizing? You're unbelievable. I'm never gonna want to help out a person who can't even climb down off their high horse and say, I'm sorry I treated you like garbage. Goodbye, Kayla. Again, please let this be the last time I hear from you.
I'll apologize. I'll get down on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Please forgive me, Dawn. I'll make Mom and Dad apologize too, in person. Won't you find it in your heart to forgive us? We're your family.
Okay, go on then.
Go on then what? I don't get it.
You were going to apologize? You just said you would. Where is it? Aren't you gonna say, I'm sorry?
What? Didn't I already?
No, you didn't. I think you should do it now.
I'm sorry.
How about I'll never do it again?
I'll never do it again. Are you happy now?
You did a great job, Kayla. Is that your first time apologizing ever?
So you're coming back to live here, right? When can you move back in?
No, I don't think so. I don't really want to. And I don't think I'll forgive you either. But I enjoyed the apology, so thank you. Have fun, just the three of you. You deserve each other.
Dawn!
After that, Kayla and Mom both tried to call me so many times, I just got sick of it and blocked both of their numbers. I resigned from my office job and set up my own company as a proofreader for academic essays. It's so convenient and I can work totally remote. I'm currently working and traveling in Europe. It's actually been really good for me. I'd spent such a long time working to support my family, I had no idea who I really was and what I really wanted. This trip has helped me to find out some things about myself. I still have a couple friends from high school who live near my old house. I was curious, so I asked them if they knew what my parents were up to. Apparently, Mom and Dad sold their house and the three of them are living in a small apartment near our old school. They all have part-time jobs, so I expect they're making ends meet. But sometimes I have to stop myself from laughing out loud to think of my mom sitting behind a checkout in the local supermarket. I'm sure she really has to swallow her pride whenever she sees one of her friends come into the store. But they definitely can't afford nice holidays and fancy dinners out like they used to. In fact, my friend said she saw Kayla loading her basket up with instant ramen the other day, so I guess she never got back together with David. I wonder if he still lives at home too. Anyway, it's none of my business anymore, so I should probably just forget about it. I doubt I'll ever have to see them again. Actually, I hope I don't. I'm happy living my own life. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content.
Diane, I need to talk to you. This is important. Get back to me ASAP. Mom? What's going on? I'm on break now. I can talk for a bit. Is everything okay? Good. This is important, so I want you to listen carefully. It's official now. Oliver is getting married. It's a match made in heaven. I couldn't be happier for them. We just went to meet the bride-to-be's family at their house. We had a wonderful time. What? You went to their house? I wasn't even told about it. Why didn't you invite me? It was a family meet and greet, right? Yeah, but you know, you're always at work or locked in your room painting, and you never go out anymore. I didn't think it was necessary to let you know of yet another event you can't attend. No, Mom. I could have adjusted my shifts at work. I'm sure they would have understood. It's a big deal. I'm Oliver's only sister. Of course I want to be there to support him. I want to meet Oliver's fiancé's family, too, and I bet they intended for the whole family to come. I hope they weren't offended I missed it. Diane, you've always been such a clueless girl, ever since you were little. You think you not being there would make a bad impression. Quite the opposite.
Having a failure at the table would be such an embarrassment for your brother and for us as parents. This was not one of your pot-smoking grunge parties. These are sophisticated people. Your brother went to an Ivy League university, did his master's, and has an amazing job at a hedge fund. You, on the other hand, are a bartender with no prospects. A total disappointment. I was never going to invite you in the first place. I don't want them associating us with the kind of uneducated, unintelligent bums that you hang around.
Huh? Is that really how you feel about me?
Look, this isn't an ordinary family we're talking about. Oliver's fiancée, Marlene, is the daughter of a couple with a very lucrative family business. Their company is grossing hundreds of millions, and they kept it all in the family. Marlene's a legit heiress, Diane. She's highly educated as well. She graduated top of her class at Yale and got her master's at Harvard. She works for a financial company now and is making 7 figures. She's only 26, Diane. Now, let's take a look at my 27-year-old daughter. She declared she wanted to become an artist, applied to a bunch of art programs but couldn't get into any, and ended up becoming a bartender. You have to understand there are places where you just can't fit in, and this is one of those times you're just better off staying away. For everyone's sake.
Wow, Mom. All right, I get it. So I'm always going to be the black sheep of the family. I'm used to Oliver talking to me like that, but I never thought you'd all ostracize me like this. I guess I'm not welcome anywhere with you guys.
That's right, Diane. I guess you're starting to get the picture. Oh, wait, there's more though. We got to talking at the wonderful lunch they set up for us, and it turns out Marlene's workplace is quite close to our house. It's about 10 minutes walking distance. And that got us thinking about Oliver and Marlene moving into our house. It just makes sense. When they get married, they can live in our house. We could make it comfortable for the newlyweds.
Moving in with your in-laws right after getting married? Are you sure Marlene is okay with that? It doesn't seem that comfortable to me. It seems a little rushed. You barely even know each other that well yet, and living under the same roof can be stressful, even for family. Take it from me. I'm sure they would rather move out and get their own place and enjoy newlywed life with just the two of them.
You'd think so, right? But they're both actually all for living at home with us. What a happy surprise! I think it's because they're both so realistic and financially aware. Such impressive kids. They say this way they can be close to us and save money on rent and utilities, so they can put away more money for the future. They're so responsible. You could learn a thing or two from them, Diane. They're both professionals and work long hours, so I offered to do all the housework. That way they can focus on their careers and not worry about little things at home. Marlene was very happy to hear that. It seems she had a nanny and housekeeper all her life, so she's not used to doing housework.
Yeah, I guess that's nice for her. So now Marlene is going to be living with us too? It's going to be a full house. 5 adults under one roof. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's so sudden, and I haven't even met her yet. You're basically inviting a stranger to live with us. You're really fine with this?
Oh, Diane, you keep missing the point. Clueless as usual. You think you're going to be here as well? You've got to think pretty highly of yourself to think that you can just mooch off your parents at 27. No, it's time for you to get out. We're going to be redoing your room for Marlene. She's going to need a home office, and it should help her feel much more comfortable moving in with us. So it's time you pack your things and get out. You're taking up precious space.
What? You're kicking me out? I just found out Oliver got engaged and suddenly I'm homeless?
Oliver is a blessing to our family. He's accomplished everything we'd hoped he would and then some. He's successful and found a well-educated girl from a very good family to marry. You, on the other hand, are a failure that couldn't even get into art school. It's like you were the anti-Oliver. You can't do a single thing right. You're a flipping bartender at some miserable hole for lowlifes. What are you doing with your life? There's no ambition, no advancement, no future. And don't even get me started on your personal life, or lack thereof. What adult stays at home painting all day on her days off? That's why you haven't had a boyfriend in years. Pathetic. You're never going to give me any grandchildren. Honestly, I don't see you benefiting this family in any way. We don't need you around anymore. Got it?
You've been pretty honest with me all my life, I think. You've always berated me for not being as good as Oliver and told me I'm worthless and didn't deserve all the things that he got. I remember when we were in elementary school and he wanted a BMX bike for his birthday, and you guys got it for him. It was more than $2,000. And remember what I got? I asked for a Barbie art kit, and you guys gave me construction paper and paint. I always knew you loved Oliver more than me. I can remember hundreds of stories like that.
So you knew. That's good. I don't need to keep explaining it to you. You should still appreciate that although you were never able to hold a candle to your brother, we did still raise you and let you stay in this house this long. We even paid for your college. You should be grateful for that. Well, that's about it. You should start looking for somewhere to rent right away. You'll need to arrange to move your stuff, too. Don't forget, I need you out by the end of the month. We're already arranging for someone to come renovate first thing next month.
Wait, what? By the end of this month? That's not enough time. How am I supposed to find somewhere and make all the arrangements?
That's not my concern. If you have a problem with that, I'm going to shorten the deadline to the end of this week. I'll get someone to pack your stuff and throw it on the curb if I have to. Good luck finding somewhere you can rent with your minimum wage bartender job. You should have taken life more seriously if you wanted to be able to afford a place sans cockroaches. Hey, buttface. How you doing? I heard Mom and Dad are finally kicking you out, huh? That's hilarious. Even your own parents can't stand you. Mom is so happy she says she's going to make a special celebratory dinner for us. She's so glad to have the disappointing loser daughter out of the house.
I bet. She's hated me all my life. I guess she was just waiting for a good excuse to come along. You're getting married to a rich, well-educated girl from a good family. That's exactly the kind of thing Mom wants to brag about to her friends. On top of that, you're willing to live in the house with her so she can fawn over you all day, and she gets to kick out her black sheep daughter that she's never approved of. She must be over the moon. This is the best-case scenario that she could have ever imagined.
Don't make yourself out to be the victim here. It's your own fault you're a failure and haven't accomplished anything worthwhile. Mom just appreciates excellence and hard work. She wants to be proud of her kid, which is only natural, I'd say. It's you that failed her as a daughter. Who doesn't get into art school? I mean, not just the art programs at universities, but actual plain old art schools. What a joke. And you have the nerve to talk like Mom's somehow a horrible mother that can't love her own child. I'd say she's the victim here, raising a worthless daughter all this time.
Seriously? You're the one that destroyed my art portfolio so I couldn't apply anywhere. You destroyed everything I'd drawn and painted all through high school.
If it meant so much to you, you shouldn't have left it out where I could find it. It was just sitting there on the living room sofa. My friends and I wanted to play with water balloons and water guns, so we needed a target. We just grabbed whatever we could find, you know? I mean, we were all pretty drunk, so I don't really remember that well.
Yeah, you totally ruined my life, but whatever. It was a long time ago. I'm not going to start digging up things from the past. There's no point rehashing it anyway. I hope you treat your fiancé better than you did me, though. I mean, you decided to marry her, so she must mean a lot to you. I'm guessing she doesn't know what a scumbag you are, right? She wouldn't be marrying you if she knew how bad you are. You'd better hide your ugly side real well, or she'll dump you for sure. I've seen your hateful, cruel side. It's not good.
You don't have to tell me, Diane. Marlene thinks I'm a kind and caring gentleman. This is a great opportunity for me, too. She makes good money and is okay to move in with Mom and Dad. I'm pretty lucky I found one that's good for my wallet and good for my family. I'm not letting a catch like that go. I'll act nice if I have to. It's part of the deal.
Okay, big brother, good luck with that. Your marriage is counting on it. You'd better not lose your temper and show your real self. Well, I'd better get back to work. My break is over and I'm needed for dinner prep. Oh, I almost forgot. Congratulations on your engagement, Oliver. I hope you have a great life together.
Diane, answer your phone. I need to talk to you. You need to come back home right away. If you're working, take some emergency leave or something. It's important. Just get over here as soon as possible. Oh, hi, Mom. It's been a while. What's going on? Is everything okay? This is really out of the blue. What do you mean you want me to come home right away? Did something happen? Oliver was in a car accident. He almost died, and he's had 5 surgeries already. They say his life is no longer in danger, thank God. But he's never going to be able to walk again, Diane. He's paralyzed from the waist down. There is a lot going on right now, and this is a family matter, and we need all hands on deck. We need to discuss what's going to happen, so we need you to come back immediately. Oliver was in an accident? Oh my gosh! Paralyzed? How did this happen? It's going to change his life forever. He was driving at night in the snow down Leicester Street and his car skidded going around that curve before High Park. He was thrown from the car right through his windshield. The force threw him straight into the guardrails and he was trapped there for 2 hours by the time someone found him. The doctors did everything they could and were able to save his life, but the damage to his spinal cord was irreversible. They told us he's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's crazy. I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, so now you understand you need to get back here right away. You're needed here. Oliver is going to need daily care and treatment from now on. He's going to have to learn to do things gradually, but right now he can't even go to the washroom by himself. From now on, our whole family is going to have to pitch in to support your brother. He needs 24/7 care right now. You can get back here today, right? We're exhausted taking care of Oliver and talking to the doctors. We want you to take a shift this afternoon until tomorrow morning. Sorry, Mom. I don't think I can make it over today on such short notice. I have work tomorrow, and I can't just take off. I would have to make arrangements before I go. You're saying your work is more important than your own brother? How can you speak like that about your own family? Make arrangements? You need to get over yourself. You have a crap job anyone could do. Just find someone around the bar and get them to do it. Even a monkey could open bottles or pour drinks in a glass. I've actually started my own business since I moved out. I can't really leave my work with someone else. I feel bad about the situation with Oliver, but there are 3 adults in the house that can help take care of him. I don't think you need me to be there. Maybe you get some rest and calm down, and think about how you're going to make things work in a realistic way. Look for different options. We don't have that kind of time. Your dad and I are completely overwhelmed with all this. Marlene took off on the day of the accident, and we haven't heard from her since. We can't count on her to help take care of him. She actually stole the insurance payout Oliver got for his accident. She swiped it right from his bank account. What? I thought she was a well-educated girl from a good family. What happened? I mean, yeah, Marlene was nice. The thing is, Oliver was on a date with his girlfriend when he was in his accident. When Marlene went to see Oliver at the hospital, she found out he was having an affair. She was obviously shocked at the fact that her husband was in such a severe car crash, but the blow she received from hearing about Oliver's infidelity seems to have made her snap. She sat quietly for a while, stood up with no expression on her face, and just said she couldn't stand by a man who cheated on her, however badly he may be injured. Then she just walked out of the room. Nobody's seen her since. She completely abandoned your brother at his lowest point in life. Oh, wow. What a nightmare. But I can understand her point of view. Oliver was cheating on her, right? You can't blame her for not wanting to stick around. I can see how the timing sucks, but Oliver being hurt doesn't change the fact that he was having an affair. It's a sad situation, for sure. What are you talking about? This is not how a wife is supposed to act. If she leaves, it's just us parents here to support Oliver in his daily life. How is that going to work? Your dad's still working and is barely home. He's not going to be of much help. So it all comes down on my shoulders. But I'm getting up there in years too, and my back is not what it used to be. I'm worried I'm going to blow out my back and need care myself if I have to keep looking after a 200-pound man. There's no way we can manage on our own. We need you to come back and help out, Diane. Your family. Get back here right away. It's the least you could do to make up for all the times you disappointed us. I'm sorry, Mom, but just telling me over and over again to come back home isn't going to make it possible. I have real responsibilities. I run an art gallery now, and I have a private viewing schedule tomorrow. I need to entertain investors and potential customers.
I also run an art collective and have interviews and promotions coming up too. I honestly don't have any time to leave the city. Plus, there's plane tickets to buy. I can't just pop over for the day or anything like that.
Diane, you ungrateful little brat. I raised your no-good butt for more than 20 years. Your wonderful brother always helped me take care of you as you constantly messed up and cried for attention. Don't you think it's about time you repay him for all his kindness and attention while you were growing up? Only a truly heartless person would abandon her brother at a time like this.
I remember Oliver tormenting me as a child, breaking the things I love and constantly playing pranks on me and my friends. But I don't remember him ever being kind or helpful towards me growing up. It was mostly hateful bullying. Besides, if you want to talk about giving back to the successful brother, maybe you should apply that to yourself. You've been able to brag about his accomplishments to your friends and feel good about yourself through him for years now, right? I think it makes sense that you'd want to pay him back for all the good he's done for your life. You know, I do hear rumors about you guys sometimes from my friends back home. Oliver paid to renovate the house completely and make it into a duplex, right? That's surprisingly generous of him.
I know, but I can't do it by myself. My back is not strong enough and my knees are getting weaker too. It's too much for someone my age. Your brother needs our help, Diane. He's a paraplegic now. It's a family tragedy, but we need to find a way to get through this. This is the kind of thing that a family has to unite to take care of their own. You're part of this family, aren't you? As Oliver's younger sister, you have an obligation to your family to come home. Don't be an ingrate. Just do your part. Don't you feel bad for your brother? He's never going to be able to walk again. Not just walk. He's going to miss out on so many things in life.
Nope, sorry. I don't feel bad for him at all.
What? How can you say that?
Anyway, good luck taking care of your paralyzed son. I'm not going to be helping with his care. There's lots of ways to be a caregiver, even if your back and knees aren't what they used to be. Just look it up online. I'm sure you can find a tutorial video or something. As you always said, I might as well never open a book because I'm as dumb as a doorknob, but I'm sure a smart, successful woman like you could breeze through it. You could probably take a few courses or crack a few books and learn to be a caregiver no problem.
What? What are you talking about? I'm not going back to school. Stop being ridiculous and come back home. Just pack some stuff to stay for a few days for now and we'll figure the rest out later. This is a time for the family to come together. Don't be selfish. That's what families do.
Huh? Really? That's news to me. I thought a family is where they tear down people's hopes and dreams. A group where everybody gangs up on the weakest one and bullies her relentlessly until they finally kick her out completely.
Huh? What does this have to do with anything?
Well, that's the only kind of family I know. I don't know what you mean about being supportive. You understand. You're the one that ran me out of the house. You talked Dad into it and never looked back after it either.
Oh my God, Diane. Are you still mad about that? I guess you can hold a grudge for a long time. Look, that was just timing and circumstances, you know. There was nothing I could do about it. Oliver was getting married, and it's true that there wasn't any room for his fiancée at the time. You can understand that, right? Besides, I knew it was time for you to get out there in the world. And I was right. 3 years later, you have your own art gallery. That never would have happened if I didn't push you to get out there. I've always wanted the best for you, Diane. I didn't want to kick you out, but cared about you too much to let you stay. You weren't going to move on to the next stage in life if you just stayed living with your parents forever. I wanted you to have freedom and independence.
Wow, Mom. I had no idea you were so creative. Did you just come up with that on the spot? That's pretty impressive. Maybe you're where I got my creativity from. Yes, I'm independent now. To a point where even hearing that my brother was in a serious accident and became a paraplegic doesn't even faze me. Well, it was good talking to you. There seems to be a lot going on over there, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Good luck with the caregiving.
Wait, stop! You're not actually abandoning us, are you? You're just going to let us live like this? Taking care of your brother day and night by ourselves? You're really not going to come back. We're suffering here. We don't even know how to do half the things needed for his treatment. Oliver's going to have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, Diane. And he'll have to go through painful physical therapy for years to be able to learn to use his body again.
I know, Mom. I'm not a monster. I'm not happy Oliver got hurt or that he can't walk. I didn't want his life to be ruined. But of course, it was kind of like he ruined my life, so I guess that's why I'm not so sympathetic about it. I really hit rock bottom when he destroyed my portfolio and sabotaged any chance of me going to art school. I literally thought my life was over.
What? What are you talking about? What's a portfolio?
You can ask Oliver about it. He may be paralyzed from the waist down, but he can still talk, right? There's going to be hours upon hours for you to spend time with him from now on. I'm sure he'll share a few stories about tormenting his sister growing up.
Wait, Diane, hear me out. Okay, I get it. You have a life now. You don't have to move back in. Just send us some money.
What? Money for what?
There are so many expenses. I don't even know where to start. Remember the renovation to make this house into a duplex? It wasn't just a little rearranging. We basically tore down half the house and rebuilt add-ons. It was very costly. The loan for all of the renovation costs were in Oliver's name, and he's responsible for all payments. Your brother's not going to be able to work for the foreseeable future, and he's had to quit his job already. Like I said, Marlene took all the insurance money Oliver got and disappeared, saying the money is for her emotional distress, so his bank account is almost empty at this point. If we don't start making payments soon, they're going to foreclose on this house. We'll have to move out.
Right. You need to make the loan payments for the renovation. Can't Dad handle it? He's still working.
The payments are so expensive we can't cover it on your father's salary. The renovation was crazy expensive, but Oliver made good money, so he signed off on it. If you're not going to help with taking care of Oliver, I can't go out and get a job, so somebody's going to have to pay the loan payments. I think if you're not going to pitch in physically, you should at least pitch in financially. Either way, something's going to have to be done. Oliver, unfortunately, can't take care of himself anymore. $2,000 a month should be enough to cover the loans and medical expenses. We're making decent money now, right? Come on, Diane. Help us out.
Now you want money, huh? You called me a useless loser for being a bartender for so long. It's pretty ironic you're asking me for money now. I wasn't mooching off you in my 20s. I saved up money bartending so I could start my studio. I worked at a bar frequented by artists and made a lot of connections. I built up my career at that bar, in a way. So you're going to ask a loser bartender that works in a grungy bar to send you financial support?
I wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. I didn't want any of this. Your brother is in a wheelchair for life. I can't change that. I have to do something to help him live his best life going forward. He's my son. So I wouldn't even contact you, let alone ask you for money like this in normal circumstances. Whatever you want to call yourself now. You're still a lowlife. You're just peddling art instead of booze now. It kills me to have to beg an ungrateful brat like you for money, but I'll do whatever I have to for my Oliver. If you're not going to move in and help take care of Oliver's daily needs, the least you could do is help out with the financial burden. If you can't afford to send $2,000, send at least half of your paycheck to cover what you can. There's therapist costs. We need to buy a better wheelchair for him. We need every cent you can spare.
My base salary is $15,000 a month, but I make a lot from other revenue sources. Some commissions for high-end pieces can be as much as $200,000 to $500,000. Of course, I run my own business, so I have expenses, but there are also grants and fundraising that I do, so it might be a little too complicated to explain it to you.
$500,000? That's $500,000! Art is expensive. Sheesh.
Yeah, so I'd have to admit I can't afford to financially support you guys. This isn't about whether I can or not. It's about whether I want to or not. And I won't be paying for anything in this regard. Honestly, I couldn't care less what happens to any of you. You all berated me and tortured me and told me I wasn't welcome in my own family. Well, now you're not welcome in my life.
Wait, Diane, this is serious. Your salary is $15,000 a month? You're telling me the truth. Oliver wasn't even making that kind of money at his fancy firm. And he went to graduate school and got an MA. How can you, with basically no formal secondary education, be making so much? How is a loser bartender suddenly rich?
Have you ever considered that maybe I'm not a loser? Maybe I wasn't the perfect child like Oliver, but I have my merits. Maybe I deserved some love as well.
What are you complaining about now? I'm your mother. I raised you the best I could.
You never took an interest in what I was doing or said anything to encourage me growing up. Do you know how damaging that is to a little girl? My grades weren't as high as Oliver's, but I got mostly A's. I was a starter on the varsity volleyball team, but none of you ever came to watch a game. I think, though, above all, I wanted you to look at my art. I was so overshadowed by Oliver, I just wanted one thing I was good at, that you guys could be proud of. I guess that's how I became drawn to the misfits of society and really pursued my own self-expression. I even got recognized internationally this year.
There is no way. What do you mean, recognized internationally? You mean you're on a website or something?
Mom, I won the MacArthur Fellowship. It's one of the most prestigious awards you can get in the art world. It's a true honor, and every validation I need for everything I endured in my life. I have my business, I have my art, and I'm surrounded by wonderful, supportive people in my life. I think I like to dedicate my life to those around me who have supported me through everything, even when things were difficult.
Oh, so you won an award. Good for you. You can't live on awards, though. It sounds like you're doing okay for yourself for now, but it's not going to last. What you're talking about is easy money. It comes and goes fast. Your little fellowship is just for show. It doesn't guarantee anything.
Actually, the MacArthur Fellowship is $500K, paid out over 5 years. There's no restriction on what I can use it for. I can explore my truest expression without worrying about money or time. I guess I want to thank you for everything. I've become resilient. I can motivate myself to do what I want without relying on others. And I'm not dependent on my family to support me in any way. There was a lot of self-hate and loneliness in my life before, but the art it pushed me to create has made my life better beyond any dream I could have imagined. You know, I think I'm going to leave my art gallery in the hands of the art collective I started and move to Europe with my husband for a few years.
What? You're married? When did you get married?
Let's see. Almost 2 years ago? I didn't think to invite you since you told me never to contact you again.
I wouldn't have attended anyway. So you married some art hippie like you. Does he work or do you have to pay for him?
He's great, actually. He works in IT. We're very happy together and have a sweet little daughter. She just turned 6 months old.
So you make more money than Oliver and you had a child. Oliver and Marlene were too worried about their careers to have a baby. This isn't fair.
Sorry I rattled on about my life that long. I guess I still have some resentment towards being called a loser all my life. I don't need your approval or praise, but I want you to know I turned out just fine, despite being told otherwise every chance you got. I'm fine with the past now, but I don't see myself ever going past acceptance and actually forgiving you. I feel nothing towards any of you anymore. You're not family to me. Despite what happened to Oliver being tragic and life-changing for him, I don't owe you or Oliver anything, and don't feel moved to action in any way.
Please don't say that, Diane. I'm sorry you felt so lonely growing up. I'm sorry we were so mean to you about everything. We were wrong. You're not a loser. You proved that. Your dad is really sorry too. He says he just didn't know what to do. He thought it was just sibling rivalry. Oliver is apologizing too. He says he's sorry. He says what happened to him is karma, that he deserves this for what he did to you.
So he's saying he deserves to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life? He really does say whatever it takes to try to get what he wants. I'm not going to be manipulated by him anymore.
Diane, he's crying. Are you saying you don't believe your brother? He's helpless. Please, Diane, don't give up on your family. We can resolve any issues that come up. Please, help your brother out. Help your mom and dad out. We had happy times together, I'm sure of it. Let's just start over as a family. Don't give up on us.
People don't change, Mom. Being a family or blood-related doesn't excuse abuse or bullying. I understand that family is portrayed as this loving, warm, supportive bunch that should always care for each other no matter what. But my reality was different. A toxic environment is harmful, and I can't put myself or my family in harm's way again. My family, my husband and daughter, deserve better than that.
What? You're not even letting us see our first granddaughter? Diane, we've dreamt of having grandchildren for years.
You do have a grandchild now. I'm just not going to let you be involved in her life. Maybe I should say I wouldn't want you guys making a bad impression.
Wait, so you're just cutting ties with us?
You kicked me out of the family 3 years ago. I'm not going back because I suit your needs now. Please don't contact me or my family ever again.
Diane, wait!
I blocked Mom, Dad, and Oliver's phone numbers immediately after, so I haven't talked to any of them since. My hometown friends updated me on what's going on, though. Apparently, my mother refused to move out of the duplex and was adamant they make it work. Dad had no choice but to take on a second job working nights as a security guard, but at 64, it's doubtful he can keep working like this for long. Mom is doing most of the caregiving for Oliver and works part-time at the animal shelter to pay for his physical therapy sessions. Unfortunately, Oliver doesn't appreciate any of their efforts and has grown bitter having lost everything: his marriage, his job, and his freedom. Rumor has it he spends all day on Google Street View looking for Marlene and refuses to cooperate at physical therapy or at home with Mom. He's verbally and physically abusive towards Mom now, so I guess she's experiencing what I grew up with now. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.